Yeah, yeah.
Big time.
Ay,
Big time.
ay,
Big
ay,
time.
ay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What?
So energetic. I love it. Wow.
You have to turn down so much on that part. Sorry, I just felt really designer. Designer was in me.
Pause. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. This is Almost Never. Bling. It's good to be back. It's been a couple of weeks since I hung out with you guys.
One sec. You all don't know that it's been a while, but it's been a while.
I mean, I think they could see if they follow along. They could see the clothing.
They would recognize the same clothing for 2 weeks and the labeling on the episodes. Yeah, Joshy, how was New Orleans?
So I was in New Orleans for the homie Nufo's bachelor party. I don't know if I've ever been to a bachelor party. This might have been my first one. It was fucking crazy. It was really hot, crazy weather, crazy good food, really nice people out there. They're a lot nicer than LA, I gotta say. It didn't seem like fake LA or anything like that.
Was it humid?
It was humid as shit. It wasn't that bad. Like when we were, we did a little gator boat tour in the swamp. Now that was hot, but that's to be expected. But one night we did a walking tour, like a little spooky tour of New Orleans, the French Quarter. And that was like that was aggressively hot.
Did you see any voodoo stuff?
Yeah, you get any voodoo?
No, I actually wanted to go to a voodoo. I don't know what you call it, like a shrine, temple,
Yes,
I
don't know what they call it. Is it Haitian that does voodoo?
Yeah, I think that's where its origins are. I probably drank in like 3-4 days what I drink in like, I don't know, 2-3 months. And
What were you drinking? What were you indulging
on? Pretty much tequila, beer, and gin and sodas because I'm looking out for my health. Trying to stay hydrated out there.
Like clear soda?
Yeah.
Tonic water?
Just soda water.
You say
not
so I
gin
get
and
to watch out for my health.
Yeah. Got to stay hydrated. I got Jimmy on the gin and soda kick just because I'm like, even though we were mixing tequila and gin,
You were
felt pretty
mixing
good.
tequila.
Well, we weren't
with
mixing
the
them
gin?
together, but like, you know.
Oh, okay,
I
good.
could use that for the screenshot. I think on Saturday night, that was kind of like the blowout night. There was like a UFC fight. Everybody wanted to go out and watch it, but the birthday boy who was at a pool party all day, he fell asleep from like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. like just out cold. We almost like we were like pounding on the door. We almost like got the hotel people.
Okay.
He passed out in his own room. He almost like
I thought he was
tried
out
to get
and
a
about.
wellness
Yeah,
check.
I thought
No.
he was out and about.
Him and all the other guys were at a pool party at the Omni Hotel, living it up as one does. Me and Jimmy, we went and we got a sandwich at
One does.
Turkey and the Wolf. Shout out! I first saw them on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives.
They were on there?
Yeah. Shout out Triple D.
That's dope.
That's
We
guy.
went to Flavortown. That shit was crazy, man. That sandwich was crazy.
It was good?
Flavor to
Yeah, it was really
What's
good.
the
It was
best
like
thing you ate?
I don't know. It's hard because that's like so different than that or like po' boys. I had like a couple crawfish crepes. That was really good.
What's the bread they use for the po' boy?
Just like a baguette.
Okay.
Just regular baguette.
So like a French roll.
Yeah.
What's the most incriminating thing? Without saying names, of
Well,
course.
yeah. I'm besides Nufo, I'm leaving out names.
Besides Nupo.
I was like a pretty good boy. I think the most I did, I was just like
Docs.
I was dancing like the whole time. I was dancing with I would just go start twerking on like the older black women that were in the clubs and the bars. They seemed to enjoy it pretty well.
Do you enjoy the older lady?
I mean, they like it's not like being sexual. It's just like having fun. So I think like if I can make them laugh or something, you know, that's
How's your twerk game?
If I can,
I mean, I don't got an ass, so like it's very limited. But like I got the spirit. I got the motivation behind it.
That's funny.
But so I got like one hangover type story.
Like the movie, or you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So
Y'all stole a baby?
this was Saturday night. Let's say Nufo's cousin. Let's call him Alberto.
Got it.
I haven't seen him in like maybe 10 to 15 years, and I see him, and like one of the first things he says is like, "Josh, I'm a married man. I didn't come all the way from Florida to New Orleans to not see boobs." And I was like, "Okay, you know, I guess this is a bachelor party."
Do they always be throwing beads and stuff out over there?
I actually was flashing some women, and I actually got some beads.
Nice.
You can see it. You can see him over there with the lay too. I got laid, I suppose. I don't remember getting the lay. I actually blacked out on Friday night. So,
What
Josh
color beads
gets
are
laid.
they? I can't see them.
purple and pink.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I see them now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you got a little trophy over here.
So we're out and about. We go to like this club/bar thing, and Alberto was like, "This place sucks. There's no girls here." And then so he just left and went out on his own. Everything was like great. I wouldn't say wholesome, but everything was great up until that point. Like no trouble to speak of.
What time was
Amongst the group.
This was probably around maybe around midnight or something, and he just goes to break off, and another person in the thing goes with them. They run into some girls on Bourbon Street, and there's a big gap in like the whole story. I don't know what's happening because we didn't hear from Alberto until the next day because his wife calls like one of the guys and is
Looking for
like,
him?
do you know where he is? Like, it's not like him to like not update me on what he's doing. And like, we're leaving for the airport at like 12. Our flight's at 4. So we get there super early. I don't know how I'm so responsible with flights these days, but his flight was at 2. We didn't hear from him. Like nobody knows what room he was staying in.
No way.
So we're like, fuck. Oh, well, I'll say Ron. Ron's flight was later at 6, so he goes to the hotel, asks the front desk, "Can you do a wellness check on our friend? We don't know what room he's staying in, but like we're a little concerned."
Yeah.
And they go, and apparently he's in his room. It's like 12:30. They knock, and he's in there. He's in there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to check out till 11. Can you come back later? I'm trying to sleep." And they're like, "Sir, it's 12:30. You need to check out now." But we found out that it was I don't know if this is a complete story from Alberto, but we found out that at like 5 or 6 a.m. a Zelle transfer goes through for like $500. That actually gets approved. Another one tries to go through, but it gets flagged for fraud for $30K.
What?
But we find out that he got robbed. He got some like that Cardi B shit on him.
What?
So like I don't know if they were scammers or sex workers or what, but like I have some theories on like what was
They
happening.
dosed him and then
Those
Yeah.
mimosas?
Well,
Dosed him, ghost him.
this guy Alberto, from what I remember, even back in the day, like he has a little trouble controlling his alcohol consumption.
How's it go?
So like he doesn't know, like even if he's getting drunk, he doesn't know to stop. So I mean, there most likely was probably other substances than alcohol involved, but yeah. So I have a theory that like maybe he paid them the initial 500, and then maybe something after that happened, like or he blacked out or something, and then they try and do the face.
that sounds about.
That's where I'm
yeah,
like,
the
oh,
face
I was like, well,
recognition.
I don't get into those situations, but I'm like, oh, well, facial recognition
sounds
to
about
unlock
right, dude.
sounds like it's
Yeah,
not
That's
a good
their-
idea.
That's the scam. They'll be like, they'll get you, get you in the room, kind of dose you.
Well, they gotta hold your eyes up because
You don't have to open your eyes.
Yeah, they just.
I think you do. I don't think you'll open without your eyes open.
Well, I think they're just trying to scam them. They
Well,
just try to
yeah,
take
maybe.
whatever they can.
Yeah.
Get the
Yeah.
cash on them, get
Oh,
the
for- yeah,
wallet,
yeah,
take
yeah.
the phone.
Yeah.
But he doesn't remember anything. He didn't have his phone, wallet, nothing.
Damn, I
So,
wonder what he said to his wife.
well, he could just say like, I got
robbed.
I got obscenely drunk, like belligerent, and I
Somebody's-
got robbed.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna listen to this. So I think it's fine.
Someone spiked
You
my
could be
punch.
like, he could say almost anything. He'd be like, I literally got obliterated, drunk, passed out somewhere, woke up with nothing.
Yeah.
on me.
So I'm like wondering. I was like, did he like get them up to his
Damn
room,
it.
like invite them, or did they like drag him up there or something, or like
His wife becomes she's like our number one listener. We just don't know it.
like we don't even have a hotline, but somehow we get called out by her.
I know where the hotline bling. That's crazy.
But yeah, other than that, like It was pretty chill. Like, it was crazy. I will stick to my theory that married men are the thirstiest creatures on this planet Earth.
Yeah.
But I was a good boy. Besides the twerking and like I think I was blocking traffic for a second, twerking in the street. But like otherwise, but it was crazy. Like on Saturday night, like before while we were like waiting for Nufo to wake up, I drank probably like 12 shots of tequila, 3 or 4 beers, and then like when we were out, I had the thank goodness I had that soda water with the gin.
Even
to like to
it really balanced me out.
Well, like the Addy probably helped too. So but you know, but otherwise, it was. For me, it was very wholesome, I think.
That's good. That's dope.
Are you the person that ripped the mailboxes at my apartment complex? You all just...
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
I drank so much.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I remember at the end of, like, Thursday, maybe around, like, 3 or 4 or something, we were, like, trying to go somewhere on Bourbon Street. I think we were trying to meet up with Alberto, but, like, we couldn't find him or whatever. And I was just like, Ron, like, fuck it, let's just get out of here. And then...
He's gone.
Yeah.
Boy gone. So now you're on a no drinking week?
Yeah, I'm just trying to detox because I felt like shit the whole week. I didn't exercise, I didn't do anything. I was just like not even eating healthy. I was just like, I basically lost the will to live for a week. So I was like, I think I need to do some sort of like, get the demons out of me.
Exercise the demons?
Exercise the demons. But it was crazy. Like people are so nice down there. Like they'll chat you up. Like, when we were at that Turkey in the Wolf place, like I saw this girl, I was like, is she eating like pasta at this place? I didn't see pasta on the menu. And I think she saw me eyeing her dish and she looked, I was like, oh, excuse me, what is that? She's like, oh, it's the cabbage salad. It's really good. She's like, do you want to try? And I was like, I kind of did, but I was so thrown off by like a stranger asking if I wanted to try the food. That I was like, oh no, I'm good. But
like what I did.
Yeah, I did.
Actually,
it looked great.
I do.
I did not actually. The one thing is like I did not see a vegetable. That was the only salad I saw the whole weekend, and I didn't even eat it. And the only vegetables I saw in New Orleans were like deep fried. Everything else was like
crazy.
Probably the healthiest thing I had was like the Bloody Marias.
The celery.
Yeah, celery
in the
some olives. Juice. That was about it. Yeah, but otherwise it's good. I would love to go back if like partying wasn't the only thing on the menu.
Yeah,
because like it's crazy. Like just definitely has a lot of history, and like when you think New Orleans, you know that French colonial style, like that's just full effect out there. Actually, on the way to the spooky tour, we were walking over there, and I saw a cat on this balcony, and I was like, "Oh, look at that kitty! Here, kitty, kitty!" And then I didn't notice that there was a woman walking right underneath where the cat was, and she like looks back, like she pauses and she looks over.
You were literally catcalling.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "She thinks I was catcalling her out." I was catcalling the cat.
I was actually calling too.
And then the one of the friends goes up, like it's like 5 minutes past, and she's still walking out, and she goes, "I gotta say something." He's like, "Excuse me, ma'am. So I'm so sorry. My friend said, 'Here, kitty, kitty,' back there." He was like catcalling. There was an actual cat there. He wasn't catcalling you. Just to clear that up." And she like laughed, and she's nice about it. She's like, "I was flattered, but I was very confused." I was like, I hope if I wouldn't catcall somebody, but if I did, I would think it'd be better than "Here, kitty, kitty," especially in that voice. But yeah,
it'd be hilarious.
But
Sounds
yeah,
like you had a good time.
It was great.
Were you afraid with the alligators when they were close?
No, the guy was like, he's like, everything you've seen on TV or whatever the media tells you, like it's bullshit. They're like, when they go up to you, they're not trying to like eat you. It's because they're curious. So they're like, the way he was framing it is like they're like little puppies. And so, because like a lot of them would just like swim up next to the boat. Apparently, like the best thing to lure them to like get them close is like to feed them like marshmallows.
Yeah, I saw that was wild.
Yeah, because it's not the taste, but it's like because it's white and it sticks out. He's like, it's like neon to them, so they just immediately go for it. But the guy was a badass. Apparently, former like Air Force pilot. He used to date models back in like the 70s, and he'd be like a boat captain, like around Le Mans, like those like Formula One races,
just
like all bougie
lines with 7.
And now he's in the swamp. He's like, I like gators more than I like people.
It's like a real swamp person.
Yeah, it's different out there. It's real different.
So basically, he was telling you like if it comes down to you or the gator, he's picking the gator.
Yeah, maybe
He'd
like
leave in your ass.
legal obligation. He'd be like, oh, but we broke down. I was thinking, I was like, as we just started the boat, I was like, it'd be funny
Was it
if
an
we
airboat?
somehow,
Or was
yeah,
it a
it was one of
boat?
those,
Boat?
airboat, the fan boat. And I was like, it'd be funny if we just broke down in the middle of the bayou, and then like on the way back, we slow down and we hear the engine go, and it like locks up, the fan locks up, and I'm like, well,
now
I'm gonna stop thinking and manifesting things because.
That's not that funny.
Did you have to wear the earmuffs? Was the engine loud?
Oh yeah, it's loud as fuck. But like we were close, and the guy was like, "Oh, whoever did the oil change this morning didn't tighten the oil plug on enough, so it just fell out." Because it started smelling gas or oil pretty quick, pretty soon after. Yeah. And then a guy like I don't know. He was like, if he knew coordinates, send him a GPS, like drop the pin or something. But guy came pretty soon, like 15 minutes.
They must have a GPS on it. Did you guys have any service out there?
Yeah, actually, I had better service in the swamp than I did in some parts of the city. So
they got those good 5G towers.
I would like to go when it's not the middle of summer.
Yeah, I bet.
I thought hurricane season was over, man.
I told you my sister said, welcome.
Yeah, I mean, like
It's gonna be hot.
and the pool was closed when we got there, so
What?
that was great.
Why?
They said there was like chipped at the bottom, like a chip at the bottom. I was like, probably somebody died.
There's just
I'm sure.
there's just a potato chip at the bottom. There's
A
a
chip at the bottom.
chip at the bottom.
It
Yeah,
looks like a Dorito.
that's
You walk out there,
That's
it's
not
a
chocolate.
full on like CSI scene though.
That's doo-doo, baby.
well, yeah. They had the caution tape. So
To
it was
his
like
body.
it was like yellow tape. I'm like, that's suspicious. That's a little sus right there.
They got those little like evidence markers on the ground.
But yeah, like really good food. I would 10 out of 10 would recommend it.
Word, yeah.
Missed you guys out there. Would have been fun.
Trey, let's go visit your sister,
We can go.
but not right now because it's too hot.
Yeah, super hot.
Wait,
What's up with your week? How was it?
Oh, it was chill. Saw some homies yesterday.
Oh yeah, how?
Yeah.
The first thing you said. What was the first thing you said to me when I saw you earlier today?
There's no expounding.
You're just like, guys, I'm exhausted.
Oh, like no. I got home like at 6 a.m. and I had to be out here at like 12.
Trey says to us, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything
I didn't.
bad." Yeah.
I just wasn't as
Not punctual.
I wasn't as
Keeping-
pragmatic with my timing as I should have been.
Ooh, that's a great word.
Well, I know since we didn't do this for 2 weeks, we have a lot to talk about.
Ooh, lay it on me.
Where do we start?
I was gonna say, do you just want to start with like what are your thoughts on the Travis Scott album? Because it's
yeah.
late now, but I'm just curious.
I wanted to hear.
I enjoy it.
First.
It took me a few listens to really get to being like it's a dope album, but I think it's probably album of the year.
Wow,
You think so? Bold,
Think so.
bold
Yeah,
statement.
I think so. 21 doing his thing.
Yeah.
All over the album.
Yeah.
Travis killed the whole album. All the features are hard, like West Side Gun from Griselda. His verse is hard.
What do you think of Cardi's thing? I thought his voice was weird on that. Is that his new
that's
thing?
one of my favorite songs. Fiend.
I do that, and it is. But it sounds weird.
It does. It does.
I don't know. Maybe I just gotta get used to it.
It does, but that's his thing now. Yeah, he's
I'm
definitely doing that.
I'm not a Cardi fan.
I mess with it. I don't know why. It gets into my bones. It's like I've always loved Cardi. Though.
I
It's
know
Magnolia.
his voice. I can't hang with.
I like some. What were,
I like
what were
that.
your favorite tracks? Fiend?
My favorite track's Fiend, Utopia Twins. Utopia Twins is probably my favorite song. That's the one with 21. I think Drake may be on that one too. What else is hard? Schizo. I really like
Schizo's dope.
I really
Yeah.
like. I even like the weird songs like Circus Maximus.
Did you watch the like this whole promo movie he made beforehand of it?
No, I didn't.
It's in
didn't
theaters.
know he did
Did you
that.
know it's in theaters?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I didn't
It's
know
like
that.
actually, it's at the AMC at the Grove or whatever.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I like though that the first week it had no features, and then he waited a week to add all the features on there.
Yeah. Did you? I know you usually are a big critic of people who have over like 15 songs on the album. Do you
Was
feel
a
like
lot,
this is
but
okay?
It's
19, right?
okay because
It's a lot. I haven't made it all the way.
it's a
through
lot,
yet.
but he's like he doesn't put out a lot of music.
Wasn't he just holding this album though specifically
I don't
until all of his trial was over?
know because I don't know how long he'd been. I don't know when they started because he'd been obviously they always be recording, but I don't know. I know they recorded a lot of it at Brad Pitt studio in France.
And timing seems to be impeccable with it.
Wonder Girl did a lot of beats out of RV Camper for this album. Like it was all like people were doing like they're all into like the unconventional stuff for this album.
That's cool.
Boy Wonder was on there too. I think a track or two.
Boy Wonder was probably on there. I was talking about Wonder Girl and was
the Wonder Twins
Girl
on there.
and who was she working with? They were like in the forest in like a
Some
camper.
of my favorite samples are Wonder Girls.
Wonder Girl's hard. Like is she Canadian too?
That I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, no, she's hard. She's like what is it? She uses I think native instrument stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say Travis Scott, from what I've heard so far, though, I liked all of it. There wasn't a part where I was like, yeah.
I have one thing with it.
Grape.
I would say that production immaculate.
Bar none.
I thought Travis's work on that. I can't. I got no critiques of that, but like his bars was to me nothing really.
He's never
like,
been a bar.
I know, but but look, like his like the hooks even didn't really like grab me or anything. Like look at like Astro World.
It took me a few listens because like the hits are kind of like they're tricky hits. Like you gotta kind of listen to them a couple times and
You gotta get a twitch.
you gotta get the twitch.
You
You're like,
gotta
shoot!
I like that.
But then also like I don't know. There was a lot of maybe just I only listened to maybe like 2-3 times the whole way through. Like the beat change ups seemed like
A lot of beat
There's
change
so
ups.
many. Every
like-
song is a 2 song.
it almost
or
seemed like
3.
Yeah,
it almost seemed like doing it just to do it.
But that's also his kind of
thing.
his jam.
That's what he does. That's what I'm saying. And then like he did have that one song though that I was like, this is Black Skinhead done the right way from Kanye West.
Oh.
There was a couple tracks where I was like, wait, was this? And I'm like,
Yeah.
is he just redoing
like
it?
that
Like,
was Black Skinhead done right.
I felt like this album reminded me actually a lot of a Kanye album. Like in terms of like its whole value of production the way through.
It was really they spent time on that album.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
could tell. Like,
Yeah.
if you like it, you don't like it, you can at least tell they spent a lot of time in crafting that album.
you said you haven't listened to it the whole way through?
No. Because I get to about like when I'm in the car.
Because it's a lot to get
Beyonce,
to.
lot.
SZA, they're hard on there.
I think Telekinesis
James Blake,
was my favorite
Yeah.
track.
That's what Future, right? Telekinesis is with Future.
Yeah.
Is Telekinesis at the beginning of the album?
It's the second to last track. I like that last track
yeah,
too.
I heard
I do too.
That
That
one's-
one's good.
Those might be my 2 favorite.
It's a hitter. Because Savage is on that last one, right? Yeah.
So Savage has 2.
It may be 3.
Tracks.
Like you
Okay.
may.
I think he has 3.
It might be 3. Yeah. I don't-
But I was curious because, like, yeah, he puts in work on this album,
a lot
but
of
we
work,
talked about it, and I thought it was kind of funny because, like, his lyrics were like, it didn't grab me, but like he puts no, he's just the sole performer on every track, and then like I wanted to check the credits on each
you
one.
can check them now, and it says now. They waited a week.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay, because like
They waited a week, and now it's all updated to where it shows everyone.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
songs.
I don't know anybody's government name, and I was like, I could guess on some. I mean, except for James Blake.
Except for James Blake.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah,
No, it was they're all. He listed all the features now.
Okay, cool.
So you can And it's like when he listed, I was like, damn, there are a lot of features on it, but it's hard because it doesn't sound like feature heavy.
I couldn't see an album. I couldn't ever see him putting out an album that's not feature heavy.
But that's what I'm saying. It didn't necessarily feel like he was needing the features. They all just did their thing on him. Like it was like, oh shit, this is all kind of actually. Because some of the songs, like to be honest, like Fiend, I know when Cardi's singing, but then again, you kind of forget like who's doing what parts, especially when it was unlabeled. I'm like,
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I think this is Travis. I think this is Cardi.
I don't know. I think you can generally tell when it's Cardi. His
Yeah.
voice is pretty.
His verse is like, that's definitely not
yeah,
Travis.
yeah.
Definitely not Travis.
Do you? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was like, maybe because like I didn't think like I thought, even like Rodeo Travis, Astro, like those are catchy as hell. maybe these are just like you said. They're
Trap.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think maybe that they're just different hits, so I got to like
What's
look
that?
at it differently.
Was that Weekend?
That's my
Oh, Circus
The-
Maximus.
No,
that's
from
like-
Rodeo.
Oh,
K-pop.
I
No,
didn't
isn't it like
K-pop.
Don't Play with Love or like
Don't pray for
yeah, Pray for Love. Yeah, that song. Mhm.
Say love.
That was like yeah, that song is ridiculously good. Do you with the talking about Weekend now? Do you think? I mean, it's not about them, but is Post Malone a pop star?
for sure.
Like he's a pop. I mean, not in the bad. Do you think? Would you like say his new music is like emo pop, or like
It's not hip hop.
no? And it's not like rock.
It's a little country.
I don't.
It's
It's not country, but it's got a twang for sure. Twangy
his
pop.
voice
It's just
reminds
pop.
me of something that sounds like it would have been on like
it's just pop.
yeah. It just
think it's
reminds
like-
me of a pop punk. Like it's just
Just a chemical.
yeah. It's super catchy. It's super catchy.
I was like,
but I think it's
yeah,
crazy because he's not like that. He 100% just like
You just pop.
changed his style. He MGK'd it.
But I think he's like
Is that a
little
white
more,
person?
As abrupt as MGK, he gradually progressed.
Yeah, it didn't come out of nowhere.
It
But
didn't come out of
didn't
there.
but
MGK
didn't,
just like
didn't Bay Area dude
Jeezy?
Jeezy.
Didn't he just do that? Didn't he put out an album recently that was like
I haven't kept up.
I think he did. I don't
He
listen to
still
him.
be rapping though. He rapped the same though.
Yeah, but I think he put out an album that was like a acoustic guitar like singing.
Oh, dang,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm wondering if it's like the white person thing to do now.
Yeah, because Logic he did that too.
He
Oh,
did?
Shit. What a pattern.
He put out a
Yeah, that's what he's doing like right now. He's basically going by Bob, and he's doing like the indie rock stuff.
That's so weird to me.
Because remember, he's been learning guitar forever, or like the last like 5 years. I don't mean forever. He's been learning guitar like publicly for the last 5 years.
I will bring it back to a prior episode and say we just asked ourselves if we can. We didn't ask ourselves if we should.
Oh.
Because he did the worst cover.
Wait,
of,
for what part though?
All
that.
yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
he just
I mean, it's not for me, so I can't really say nothing. But I don't know.
Oh,
He
for that
did-
kind of music?
Yeah. Just the switch up. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like with Post for me, it seems like a natural evolution, like of his style. Like he's always like, maybe
Yeah,
not
yeah,
always,
yeah,
but he
he's-
eventually like he wound it in
Yeah.
there. But then like,
I just think that after people realized that Eminem couldn't last forever and they were white rappers, they were like, damn, I can't do this forever. I have to pivot my music. Like, it just seems like that's the case.
Well, almost no rappers live forever. At least they haven't.
No, I said change.
Yeah, not
it,
yet.
But their style,
But that's what I'm saying.
Well,
You have to
I would
change stuff if you
say
want to keep on going. 'Cause
the only
what
one-
rappers
not
putting out-
really though. There's some people that really haven't changed their like drastically changed their sound where they're like singers now, or they're like playing in a band.
I mean, especially if you look at like
Kind of, because that's
white
all the new
white
kids
rappers.
White rappers, it's
Like,
no, but I'm saying old
Mac
rappers.
is the only one.
do. Oh
RIP.
yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, if you listen to say like Uzi or Trippie Redd, they've literally done almost every genre under the sun.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think of that new Uzi?
It's not bad. It's not great.
I think
mean-
he tried to do too much.
Yeah.
It's not great by any means.
Like
but it's
he
not
has some
bad.
there's
He's
a
actually
couple bops
rapping on
like,
there. Yeah, he's
and
rapping.
like the Bring Me the Horizon song. That's dope. I thought
it was really fun because I was like, this is straight just a Breathe Me Horizon song.
Yeah,
but then
he
he's
was
just like,
useless on there.
yeah, I think he tries to do too much. I don't dislike him, but
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, there's no real old rappers that are like current
Nas.
But I don't think like they have to be like
Why-
if
because he had a big break and then he had a big resurgence,
Mm-hmm.
like from Hit Boy.
but like if Kanye put a new album out right now, like it's still rap.
But I don't consider him old still yet. Like I'm saying, like a 70-year-old rapper.
Who's that though?
From the
There's a
Sugar Hill
lot.
Gang. They're all
Exactly,
dead.
like,
No,
all
but
those guys
I'm-
but they're not dead. We just don't want to see them perform.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But, like,
'cause
so,
especially
like-
if you're doing the same thing, like,
So
nobody
then
wants to
like
see that.
Kanye 50, Jay-Z.
Honestly,
They're the ones they're exactly because I can't really say Dre because and Snoop's kind of like a.
They don't really perform
They-
anymore.
they're
That's
not
exactly. They're
they're
not
not really
putting out
musicians.
new stuff. You know
but
what
if
I
they
mean?
put a show on, everyone would go.
Everyone would go if they put a show on, but they're not really putting out new music or keeping current
Yeah.
per se.
Yeah. But I just think like when I think about like predominantly like I guess with like not just rappers, but I guess specifically like white rappers, there seems to be like a pivot of being like,
Well,
oh,
it's funny because you have to, because there hasn't been the model for longevity in rap. We've seen the model in every other genre.
yeah.
Nobody wants to imitate
Rock
Ice, do
legends
they?
can play until they legitimately collapse on stage from old age. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Country
True.
singers, all that pop
Yeah.
is, look at Mick Jagger. Like, people they're selling out arenas. They're not playing Morongo like
Like Janet,
Janet could probably, I think she's doing a world tour. Right?
she did. I think she
Yeah.
played Morongo.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, or
I would actually
isn't
like
it
to
Yamava
see-
now?
It's Yamava.
Yamava.
Yeah, she played Yamava.
I'd
But that's
actually
what I'm
to see
saying.
Janet,
Like,
right?
Yeah.
if
I think Missy did too.
if Rolling Stones are putting on a show, it ain't gonna be at Morongo.
Oh,
No,
Erykah Badu's still going
Santana
strong,
though.
But he's kind of like,
Yeah, Erykah Badu, isn't she on a tour right now?
Yeah,
She's, yeah, she's still doing her like she's.
but that's what I'm saying. These old rock acts, old country acts, old pop acts.
Yeah, they just do the
They
same.
they do the same songs.
Beat
They're
a
not
dead
even
horse.
making new music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
they can still sell out arenas.
Yeah.
And stadiums. They're not playing
Yeah.
theaters.
One
What do you
might
think about
say
R&B stars and then like they can
They're
do it
playing
easier?
this. No, they struggle.
they're
because,
playing
I mean,
Essence Fest.
Exactly. They're doing Essence Fest. They're doing the Yamavas. They're
Yeah,
doing
that's
the
true.
casino.
Yeah.
No, hey, I'd love to go to
Although
Essence Fest.
Yamava,
someday.
technically, if you're selling out Yamavas, you're still doing okay.
They're
Get it? Granted, but on the
But
scale
they're not.
of things,
culturally
Yeah,
relevant.
on the scale of things, like I said, if you're 80 years old and you can still sell out SoFi playing songs that you wrote when when you're
Dude,
like
you just can't get
18,
no satisfaction.
any of those groups.
I heard that the Beatles are going to release a new album, and it actually is of all new music, and they've been
Is it
taking
AI?
all these years to put
No,
it
it's
together.
it's all
No.
it's all yeah.
I mean,
There's
but they
no
can tell us anything, right?
yeah.
No, but I mean, let's just take it for the worth of what they're saying is like, and they worked on it. It's all like,
Listen to the old white man.
So it would be like some circles posthumous kind of thing, right?
something like that. I guess it's like tracks that have been done that they piece together some way.
Should that be allowed to be done?
Why wouldn't it?
I mean, I think if it's by the
By the
they're
estate.
still in the band.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
still
like
alive.
an agreement.
Two
Yeah,
of them,
sure.
right?
Yeah, two of them are.
So if
Ringo
they're
and
doing
Paul.
it, then I guess it's okay. But I'm saying, like, when you're gone, like, is that cool?
Is it your estate doing it,
Who
or just
cares?
somebody?
Your estate wasn't you.
I mean, you're dead, so you don't care, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
But that's what I'm saying. If you were alive and an artist and you were putting out the stuff,
yeah.
Oh, you're
and
putting
then
out
when you
their
die and then people put out stuff you never wanted to be put out,
Let's say,
or reconstructing stuff that you did
Yeah,
to
but-
make a new thing.
But I mean, you don't exist anymore at that
Again,
point.
that's what I'm saying. Is
yeah,
that
I think
cool?
if the
that
state
right?
doesn't have a problem, I think it's fine.
I don't
it's
know
fine.
if like
they want
cool
to cut that check.
or I don't know if I like think cool like works there. Like I don't mean is it like cool to who? Cool to your dead body?
Cool in the
I'm
gang.
saying if you're just anyone, if you're a fan of somebody,
Yeah, I think it's cool.
you think it's cool to manipulate stuff after you die and put your name on it.
Well, because they like have. I'm sure they have.
I mean-
so many hours of like just unreleased material.
Are you
Like 'cause
trying-
they're always jamming.
No, I'm
Are
saying
you
we
trying to
know,
link this
like-
to like the idea of how somebody can put your name on something after you die?
I mean, it
and
works, but I'm just saying we know, like, say, Prince. He says he never wants anything he's never released to be put out after he dies.
Yeah.
They're just waiting until they get the rights to put stuff out. So I'm saying, in that sense, when we know the artist didn't want this stuff to be put out, is it cool for their art to be put out? That's what I'm asking.
But I would say because it's business. I don't think there's any morals in business. Ethics maybe, but no morals.
Yeah, I don't jive with stuff like that.
No,
No, because it's like someone's
but
just trying to,
business.
but someone's just trying to capitalize off of a dead person that didn't want stuff to be put out.
Well, because I think that could be similarly like they're using like dead celebrities to advertise fucking products and stuff.
That's
you
what
know?
that's what I'm saying. Like the Mac Miller album, it wasn't good. It was probably the worst album that ever had his name on it. His posthumous one.
But that's your opinion. There are some people out there that probably don't think the same thing.
I'm sure there are people that like it, but if I went off of statistical numbers, it was probably his worst performing album because it was posthumous.
You looked at those numbers?
No, I'm just saying if I were to, I would assume it would probably be his worst album.
Yeah. No. I mean, I feel like Mac Miller fans might have, just.
I
It
think they
wasn't
would
Mac
just,
Miller music though. Like anyone with the brain would be like, "Oh, it's different music, 100%."
well,
Yeah.
it was still him. It was still
it was
stuff he
his
did.
voice.
It wasn't like manipulated.
I think that was the music
way.
though. That the other dude was just finishing up the parts that weren't finished, but all of them were basically. At least they were like
Started.
Yeah, they had the
Had the
blueprints.
bones.
They had the bones.
No, because I hear
That's
the songs
understood.
like like all the posthumous stuff. It's just like it don't hit right.
What about if you're like I
don't disagree with
an
that.
artist, like a painter?
I'm saying anything. I'm
No,
saying whatever you've already created. Okay, we could sell this, but I can't create something after you've already gone, put your name on it, and say it's under your creation. That's what I'm saying. So how are people being able to do that with the posthumous stuff? Because they own the rights.
But don't people? Well, I guess people might not know if they don't know. But wouldn't you think that if like all of a sudden like a Beatles album comes out and they were dead, but if the Beatles come out, no one's thinking, oh, they did this.
Some people would.
I think there's a general recognition that it's like, but I know what you mean. Like, I think maybe somebody who hasn't like followed their career to a certain point, they might assume it's like, oh shit, like this is the album they were working on. It wasn't just pieced together. But I think for a fan, there's a general recognition because I think.
Because really, I'm just asking, is it the artist's art at that point? That's what I'm saying. So we're buying something.
What
under
would
the
make you more?
pretense-
What would make you more upset as an artist? The fact that you didn't get credit and it was released, or the fact that you did get credit and it was released?
I think that truly they're both one and the same. I'm just saying, as a consumer of being a fan of an artist, I think it's misleading, misguided, and an ill practice of power to put out posthumous stuff.
I would say so. You don't think it's ethical?
It's really not.
But they're like because the music industry is like
It's truly
fucking
not.
ruthless.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
it's truly not because it's like how could you ethically say we're going to put out creations from this person?
They're screwing artists that are alive. So are you that
I'm saying
surprised that
it's
they're
no
screwing
different.
that? Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's. I'm just saying I don't really like posthumous stuff for that reason.
I think. Well, would you say you're a Tupac fan, right?
Of course.
How much do you think Don Illuminati was? Because that was like right. That was like not right after his
Well, I would say
passing.
a better posthumous was be with the Biggie one, because that came out like right after he recorded all.
It was pretty much ready to go.
It was already done, but he just died before.
Is that the same thing that happened with Don? No, that was like
No,
I think
that was a little different. I think.
I
But
think
yeah,
it
no.
was mostly him, but there's still
Exactly.
some.
Like I said, if you do it, I'm fine with it being put out. But it's when someone under the guise of you then creates some stuff.
So if the
and
whole
puts it out.
album was completed and somebody's just putting that wholly completed album out, that's
fine.
cool. Even if the person said, I don't ever want to release this.
Well, no, I don't think that they should. But I'm saying that's still okay. That's that art of that person.
Got you.
When someone doesn't finish
I get
something,
what you're saying.
You know, and then it's pieced together by a whole different team that maybe wasn't even a part of that team.
The artist can't really
In
say that was his
general, you know what I
creation.
mean? Now they
or her
just have
creation.
control of the IP.
Yeah.
Put something
It
together.
would kind of be like if a painting was like halfway done, like a Basquiat or like
That's exactly what it would be.
and then somebody went and finished the rest
finished
of it.
it and then sold it as a
sold it as a
Basquiat.
I see that.
Yeah, that would be fucking weird.
Like we
I'd be
went
that's
into a
not-
studio after he died,
Yeah.
got every unfinished canvas,
Yeah.
finished it to how I wanted to finish it,
Yeah.
and then sold it as a
Well,
Basquiat.
at the same time, there's like a kind of like among art enthusiasts, like a lot of stuff that is on the market as that's
Is it already
believed. No, a lot of
It's
these are
already forged,
forgeries.
yeah.
These like a lot like are believed to be
I can
forgeries.
believe
Like
that for sure.
I think a Leonardo da
Seems like-
Vinci painting, it like set a record. I don't know if you guys saw that like a few years ago. Like it was this undiscovered one, or it was like underneath another painting, and it went for a record like I don't know,
Yeah.
500 million or something. And it's like that's
fake?
a lot of people are like, that's not his work. Like, but because it's like because that stuff like that art is so far
crazy.
removed that
How
people
can
are
you
like
tell?
only
they
referencing
do,
it.
like they have to do crazy testing
yeah.
with like the ink and stuff like that.
They test the pigments to see if it
Oh.
matches like period of what they used, because if it's like a certain shade of blue, they only had this way to make it
During
blue
a
during that
certain
period.
time.
So
Wow.
I know that's how they do.
Wow.
They do that with autographs too. I
That's
just know that from watching
crazy.
Pawn Stars,
That's
because they'd
super
always
cool.
have their autograph dude come in, and he would be talking about how like live ink is versus different
like
type of pens
a
and
roto
stuff.
thing.
Exactly.
But
So
at the
it's
same
just
time, like I mean, this is just goes into painting, but it's like a lot of these paintings, sculptures, and stuff, they were probably maybe a little bit touched by the artist, maybe not at all, but like a lot of it was done by the students who were like mimicking or finishing their thing. Just like how artists, a lot like Murakami, like he doesn't do his own shit. Like it's all his own assistants, like putting together.
But they
his
have
work.
the vision, so that in a sense, that's like a Quincy or Khaled.
But
when you listen to a Khaled record, he did one thing on that album beside facilitate it.
Exactly. So is that that much different than
That's
even if
his.
they're dead?
That's his type of artistry, and we've bought into it.
Excuse me, but if that's like his people that
Kinda like
his
an architect.
associates.
It's actually the literal sense of producer,
Yeah, yeah,
which is what he says he is.
yeah. That term
So,
is very far and wide.
That's why I'm saying that's the literal sense of the word producer. He's putting the pieces together to produce the project.
I guess most dreamers too. You imagine that they can at least do a piece of their dream.
Well,
Like you can dream it up and at least put one block in the wall. Like you at least got that.
Yeah.
Because I think of like big names. You think of like Steve Jobs and stuff. It wasn't like he was like, I have this idea and I have absolutely no skill or ability to put it together.
to speaking of dreamers, your boy is a part owner of Hornets.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I like
Cole.
that.
J.
Yeah.
Cole, Young Jermaine.
Dude, actually, my
Not young.
my
Simba
friend, she was wearing a J. Cole shirt. I was like, why don't I have one?
anymore. You don't?
Like, no. I was like, damn, I'm not a real fan.
You ain't a fan.
I know I'm not. Clearly,
I feel like
watch
you're
all
the-
of a sudden I'm now gonna be a Hornets fan, die hard.
Y'all wearing old Hornet stuff. Y'all like what the old school like Glenn Rice.
Dude, those
I
old
don't
Hornets
even
jerseys
know
are hard, though.
Hornets. Yeah, I mean, if
You know Mello.
I like Mello.
Ooh, would you get a J. Cole Hornets jersey?
Ooh,
That'd be hard.
That'd be hard.
Or just a Dreamville Hornets jersey.
If there's a Dreamville Hornets jersey, for sure. Yeah, I just realized the other day I was like, they still got those Dreamville Reebok or Puma.
Ain't
Well, no,
nobody
Reeboks.
want
Yeah,
those.
I know, but I was like, damn. I was like, why don't I just buy a pair? They're like,
I seen
They're
Mello
on
out there
sale. They're on
hooping
sale.
in them. They're on sale.
yeah, who did? Didn't like they were like when they came out, there was a couple people were hooping them.
Yeah, somebody hooped in them.
I think he got like a couple names to do it.
Probably, but that was here and gone so quick.
Yeah.
Oh, remember he was in that
He played in
He's
the
playing in
African
the
League.
league.
something?
Yeah, he played in the
Oh.
African League.
Was it African League?
Yeah.
like Morocco,
Or no,
or something like that.
I think
I think it was somewhere around there, somewhere.
I don't know. It was
on that
funny
whole
though,
continent.
and everyone made a big deal every
the
time he
enormous
got in the
continent.
game. Like J. Cole,
And then he did like a 3,
Yeah.
and then like that, then his career was over after that.
yeah, he
yeah,
played like
he-
2 games and it was like
It was all just hype for the album. It was like the smartest rollout.
But
Yeah.
I give him credit for that's
but
creativity
it's also
right there.
It
tight
was
because
creativity.
all of his career he'd been rapping about how he used to play ball in college and stuff like that, and he was pretty good. And
Well,
then
when you're not lying and it makes sense, it makes sense. It's like,
good on him.
he's honestly
Not lying, young
And
Simba.
it is kind of crazy, young Simba. I do think it's pretty crazy
Simba.
how he
Old
hasn't
Simba
done.
Mufasa, man.
Damn.
See his mane? You see that mane?
He got
Jermaine?
Jermaine.
Woo!
It's pretty
Magic
crazy.
happening.
he still hasn't gotten his teeth fixed, and he could. Like now, he just
embrace
It's
it.
too late. Yeah,
now,
at this point,
now
that's
he
like
just
part
is
of
like,
him.
yeah.
It's him. Yeah.
Imagine if he
Well,
got.
you can't
if
go
he got
back
some-
and he rapped about it so many times.
If he got veneers, it would just look weird.
I think honestly too, though, when like singers and stuff go so long, I don't think they want to do it because they think it may change their voice.
Oh, that makes sense. And he started singing like that.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
I would think that they were like kind of scared. Like, you know what? Who cares? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, plus, I guess if you made it this far, you're like, why? Why? What's the point?
yeah. I suppose-
Unless it started messing up the way he eats or something. Like, like then you're like, all right, I'm gonna have to do
Is
it.
the Hornets any good?
I mean, they
They've gotten
got
better. in the
It's
last
just
couple
they,
years
they
'cause-
always
'cause
get
Malone.
broken. They
Just
always
Malone.
get busted.
they're young. They're young talent.
Well, because what's the other dude?
They got what's his name?
Scary
PJ?
Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Rozier?
He's good.
Rozier. They got. What
He's
they got?
old, but he's like maybe one of the best players on the
They
team.
got-
They got Brittany
not-
Renner's baby daddy,
Not Edward.
Oh, what's his name?
PJ Washington.
Do they? Who's the dude that's not there? Is his last name Edwards? No,
Oh no! He's on the
that's the
Ant,
that's
Ant
the,
is on.
no, that's
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. Yeah.
No, but who was the dude that they got? Who was like he just dunks on people all the time?
oh,
It was like a pickup. Like I feel like a year ago.
Because they got Hayward and they got what's his name?
Yeah, that was. They actually have a pretty talented.
They have
team.
a solid team. Yeah, they got a solid team.
Hayward's washed.
Well,
I mean, he actually did great last year.
He's a good vet. He's better than I'd rather have Hayward than Kevin Love.
Yes, agreed, wholeheartedly.
But people love K Love still.
I mean,
there's a guy named Leaky Black on Leaky Black.
That's a rough name.
Amari Bailey, is he rookie? Terry Rozier, Nick Richards, Mark Williams. I don't know any of these people. Cody Martin.
Rozier, yeah.
Oh, Kelly Oubre Jr.
Oh, yeah,
he's solid, dude. Gordon Hayward, JT Thor. That's a cool name.
Kelly Oubre
with his eyeballs.
He was on the
he played
Warriors for a second.
Yeah, and before that, he was on the Wizards.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
Kai Jones, is he rookie?
Kai Jones, Mike Jones.
Kai Jones, dude, he's 6'11". He's a big fella.
Talk about this
Taylor
show business.
Oh yeah, can you explain that? I don't know anything. You guys were saying something.
Taylor
about I have no idea.
business. I thought it was fake.
Enlighten him on the Schabusiness.
Well, and who?
You want me?
Who is,
I mean, okay. Well,
who is she?
You come in and help me out because you know more than this. You're the one that introduced me, but
walk so he can run.
So first name, her last name was like Shaw. Was that what you said?
Her husband that she married, last name was like Show.
Yeah.
SCHAU or something like that. And then she legally added the business.
So her name was Schabusiness. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Clever girl.
Yeah, so it's Taylor Schabusiness.
Yeah, Schabusiness.
So basically,
Schabusiness.
I'll set you up and then we'll dissect. She basically murdered her man and cut him up into a lot of small pieces.
But who is she? Is she just like
some chick?
Nobody.
Just some. Yeah, you don't know her. Like she's just out here. She's not like a
Okay.
TikTok fan or anything like that. Nothing like that.
She's straight nobody.
Yeah,
She's someone now.
She's just someone who looked definitely possessed when she was in her trial.
Possessed with the Holy Spirit?
That was not holy. It was not holy. So yeah, she like
Church of Satan? Maybe it is.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, she was it meth?
She said so.
She said basically her and her dude got methed up and they like are into some kinky, like rough stuff. And so the dude had a dog collar around his neck, right?
Like a pit bull dog
Yeah,
collar?
pit bull dog
like a
collar.
chain choker?
Yeah. And so she,
the choke
yeah, the
chains.
choke chains, yeah.
Because I was like, regular collar. I could.
no, yeah, you could do that. No,
I'll
like
put one of those
the
on.
legit
Choke chain.
choke chain.
Not one of those. That's dangerous, man.
Yeah, so she was like
sensitive skin.
riding him like
She said a donkey.
yeah. That's what her words.
Her words.
Riding him like a donkey and
Riding him
choking
like a
him.
donkey.
El burro.
And so like all right, so basically you see her get arrested. There's a body cam and they show her getting arrested and she's just like super chill. She's like, oh yeah, no, I'm the only one here. Oh no, there's somebody else in there. Yeah, we're good and stuff like that. And they walk her to the car. And then there's a video of her
in the interrogation.
And she's still on that like same like
that
super
shit.
chill shit. And she's just like yeah, like so she's like, the guy was like, so were you on drugs? And that's when she's like, yeah, like we were on like whatever meth and stuff like that. And then she was like, I was riding him like a donkey and I was choking him and I just kept on choking him until he passed out. Like, and they're like, how long it take? She's like, about 5 minutes. So she was like brutally choking him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
harder you pull, the
Yeah.
tighter it
Mhm.
gets.
Yeah. It's a brutally choke for 5 minutes. And then, he passes out and dies.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then like she's so hopped up and she says like, so I instantly was like, went to cut off his head.
First, I think she started sexually mutilating the
That
body.
was it. Yeah, I started sexually mutilating the body and having sex with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
How? I don't know.
Didn't you say
Well, she said she was
Orally.
orally
on
yeah, copulation
while it was on him though
on
before
the
she
corpse.
cut it off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
While it
Yeah,
was on him.
While it was on him. And then she says at
Drugs
one
are
part of the
dangerous,
whole
man.
thing, one of the parts she says when the guy's like talking about like cut him up, she's like, I don't know, I kept on blacking out and waking up and I was cutting and sucking and cutting, and it's like
Verbatim, she was
Yeah.
saying that. Like,
Cutting and sucking.
yeah, she's saying
like
that
she's saying
in
that
the interrogation.
to the investigator.
Yeah.
That's a motto for feral girl summer right there.
Cutting
And then she was just
sucking.
like, yeah, I got lazy. That's why there's body parts in different places. I was getting lazy on the cleanup.
She like says why she picked the serrated knife so to cut his head off.
Bread knife.
Yeah, and so then you get all that in the video, and then it's her in court, and like, so she's like,
She attacked the dude too. She attacked
her lawyer
In court?
Yeah.
after the verdict. She attacked him.
And she's like, at certain points.
She's surprised at, I'm guessing guilty, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is she surprised?
15-minute deliberation,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. It was
Gotta be a
instantly.
record or something.
It was
And like she's like laughing kind of at one
She's
point.
laughing,
And then they
she's-
tell her like, you know, we find you guilty. And she just kind of makes this weird, like it looks like she's about to cry, and she's just like
it's very
it's
weird. It's very
weird.
strange.
The cracks
She's
are
very-
forming or something?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
she
it's
just
very strange.
and, like,
she was different, bro.
she kind of just staring out on different times, just staring out at stuff and like that. But they said like no on the insane. They
they said like the judge is like, nah, we ain't going for that.
yeah, say that ain't gonna happen. They were like, you clearly knew because you kept on passing out and waking up and still
And
cutting.
kept going.
You
And
clearly
kept on
knew what
cutting
you
and
were.
sucking.
Yeah. So you know, just some Schabusiness.
Taylor Schabusiness.
Yeah. There's no business like show business, you know?
You know, yeah, that was a very crazy story though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of show business, this is a weird change, but Lizzo getting canceled.
What's going on?
What did you
How
think
does
about that? You heard?
I vaguely.
I
don't
thought
know what
about
it's
Trey
Oh, I do know
last
what's
week
about.
saying how like a girl can just say anything about a dude and he's instantly guilty until proven innocent. And I felt like, damn, this is kind of the same thing. Like
She got dragged real hard.
yeah,
Those
like
females, right?
three
dancers.
dancers. Yeah, 3 ex-dancers came out with lawsuits saying like all the same story basically.
It's all it takes to burn you.
Yeah, and like, but what's wild to me is like her
Could totally
fans,
be-
her fans instantly were like, "Oh, we don't like you," because like, who else? I mean,
Did you hear of some of the examples?
of what
What she was
happened?
there, yeah, I did.
Like
Yeah.
in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
What was
like,
the Amsterdam one?
There's a sex show
yeah.
where you eat a chiquita
Dang.
out of the cheetah.
They were making them. She was making them do that.
She wasn't telling them. I thought like that this was what it was going to be. She was inviting them places, right?
I didn't really look into it.
That's
I was
what
just
like I know one of the parts was like, oh yeah, just invite them to hang out, and then they got there and it was like a nude like party or something like
It was
that.
a sex show.
Sex
Some
show.
Dwight Howard stuff.
Yeah, and then like another one said that like Lizzo asked her like oh, are you okay? Like you're not super peppy or something, but it was in reference to an earlier comment about her like her weight and like how she like had been gaining weight during the tour and stuff. And
Oh, the dancer, right?
dancer,
yeah,
yeah,
she's
yeah,
saying
the
something
dancer.
about, you can like be let go if you gain too much.
now, I don't know, it's all alleged. I don't know, but
all
that's
it
what
takes.
I didn't read
But
that. I didn't
that's
read
what's
that
being
45-page
That's all it
deposition.
takes.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Just
but it's-
allegations.
It's pretty crazy because I kept on seeing people post stuff about Lizzo, and I was like, I wonder what happened to her. Like, I don't know. And I read that, I was like, that's weird. That's like especially because like she stands for. I feel like everyone's like, oh,
The
she's
marginalized people.
Yeah, she's like very much so. So the story of her being against like her own kind of thing, I think, is very damning.
Well, you saw like her statement was something like these are
Preposterous.
yeah,
yeah,
and that
yeah.
these dancers were already let go before the they
For
were
having,
on the whole tour for
for
waldly
having
inappropriate
for,
behavior.
inappropriate behavior.
I mean, that's why I was like a while ago, I always wanted to like date a musician, but I heard they're kind of like actors or something. They could be, I don't know. They're all on tour a lot.
It's just a
different
weird
life.
That's a weird
Yeah.
back and forth though when you're being sued for inappropriate behavior, and so your comeback is, no, they were inappropriate. It's like you guys are gonna have an inappropriate showdown. Like, who is the worst?
It's what it is, right? It's a he say, she
And
say.
I imagine all the people that
She
are
say, she
working,
She say, she say.
all the
she
people
say,
that work
she
for
say.
her right now are on NDA, so they can't
Not
unless you're gonna
like,
unless
not
you're gonna
legally.
leave the job and I guess quit. Then
I don't know.
Maybe
Just
say- Yeah, I don't know.
interested to see how it plays out. It's not like a. I mean, it kind of is a little one side. Although I didn't like him with the Tory Lanez and Megan thing. Like it was all like back and forth. I don't know.
All it takes is an allegation, man.
I'm interested to see how it plays out. Not taking
One allegation.
taking sides.
And it could be totally a lie. And it
it
can be
can
proven
yeah.
to be a lie.
But usually when it's like proven, I feel like now there's an easier rebounding
Depends.
You
because
just really got to be able to get in those text messages. I feel like that's
It
key.
depends.
Right
Because
there,
I mean,
kind of crazy because Nufo's job is literally to get into people's stuff.
Shout
I'm
out
trying to think if there's
Shout out
anyone
Newf.
that's
What's
like
it called?
hasn't been able to come back after they've been
forensics,
like
digital
computer forensics. Yeah.
TCSI.
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of crazy that it only takes one person to make Adidas profits?
It only takes one person to change the world, Sean.
So what happened? Like, like they just re-released the Yeezys?
Well,
Or they said-
it was a leftover stock and inventory.
Oh, so they were like, we just.
So
gonna
they
get
were
rid of
because
them?
they were like, we don't want to just burn them or like
That's a bad
destroy
look.
them because
Yeah, it's
environmental impacts, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
It was
they were
Already
like,
made.
should we sell them?
So
But
did
that's
he
like,
get some of the money, or did they?
Yeah, he does.
And they made 85% of their
It's
year.
85% of their yearly revenue off
So
of his
far.
Easy Day. Yeah,
I kept getting confirmed app notifications like Yeezy stuff's
that's
going on
how
sale.
crazy
I'm like,
it is.
That's crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, but like besides his slides or his runners,
got the
like
wave runners.
I don't see anybody wearing Yeezys
Not really,
anymore.
but the slides are still everywhere.
Yeah, the slides everywhere.
and the wave runners.
I think though, like what you guys were kind of saying like earlier, like those were really hot, and then all of a sudden, like Dunks and Jays became hot, and now they're like everywhere hot. Where like every single, I've been to like 3 coffee shops this week, and every single time somebody had a pair of Pandas. Shout out Pandas.
But Kanye's proven to be a hit machine though.
Yeah. Do you
For
think
Nike,
though?
for Adidas, for almost anyone who's working for Gap, almost anything he's partnered up with,
Balenciaga.
Yeah.
But like literally, he's only making the stuff better, and at least I wouldn't say better. He's making money.
Well,
Yeah.
he's just
Yeah,
making
yeah.
it different. Like
Yeah.
he's giving the brand a different vision than their usual thing.
He got a lot in his name.
Yeah.
Bro, he's an innovator. Like he's done a lot.
I mean, I can't agree
some
with all of
respect
his
on that
personal
name.
with his personal views, but like he definitely
I mean,
changed the
He's always
music.
done
He's
everything
changed
in the face of
fashion,
adversity,
changed
too.
sneakers
He really, yeah.
through the wire, man.
Yeah.
He's always going against something.
Speaking of
College.
going against,
Everything's
yeah,
always
he
like-
really is always going against
He's
something.
always going against something, and he's got the ultimate chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, since day one too. Which I mean, more power to you.
Would you say like he's going against the popular opinion or the mainstream opinion, kind of like Elon?
I was gonna.
No, I think that he just
I
allows
knew you were.
himself
Sorry, I took
to.
it from you.
That's good.
I think he just allows himself to have his own ideas.
Which one, Elon or Kanye?
Kanye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not afraid from like
He
expressing
takes a
it.
lot of what is it?
Flack.
No. Like when you get inspiration from stuff,
Yeah.
he takes a lot of like notes and stuff from other stuff. But I feel like he actually allows himself to, I wouldn't say think freely, but to have different kind of ideas.
I will say too, like I
He
think
don't
like
stay
him,
one place. Too
him
long.
and Elon,
No,
like I
no.
think they're both surrounded by yes men, which can be good. Like with Kanye, he's just like anything that comes out there, like yeah, that's a great idea.
Well,
Let's
I
do
heard
it.
like nowadays the way that fool works, it's insane. Like he's just in a big location somewhere with like 50 people, kind of like you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's like segmented, and he's just moving through all the pieces. He'll be in the music section for 2 hours, maybe recording something. Then he'll go
Crazy.
over to like the designers, and then he'll work on designs, and then he's it's like
The Yeezy Plex.
yeah,
He hasn't done anything for a while.
he's been quiet for a while.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, our boy Elon has been loud. I mean, I was like, to be honest, to change Twitter to an X, like, is a kind of a bold move. But then the fact that the whole plan supposedly says all along is to make it like the most powerful AI, like consumer connection place ever.
Well, it's funny because he's or at least a few months ago, he was like, we need to limit AI
All
development.
yeah,
we need to
yeah.
be careful. And then I think,
I was thinking that same thing.
yeah, he's just, I
be
mean, it
popular.
looks like a fucking Xerox logo. I don't know.
He looks
man.
strange.
He looks strange, but I mean, like an X to me is like so not. I don't know. Like,
He's just obsessed with like the letter X, like the Model X, Space X,
yeah,
X,
yeah.
X.
His baby has X and like X19,
and then
whatever.
other like
TC
other numerals,
Something
and
like that.
various accent marks and stuff.
Xenon.
go from 21st century.
Yeah, yeah.
He did marry a different
Grimes?
Xenon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think though the whole like hit. You were saying earlier how the like what was it? More than half of the satellites.
Oh yeah, Starlink.
Starlink.
Like it was just one of his companies. I'm surprised it's not X-Link or Star X or something. But
Not yet.
yeah,
That
like
name
that.
changed.
I think about roughly there's 2,600 satellites orbiting the Earth. Starlink is responsible for like half of them, and so he can. What people are kind of worried about is because he can turn on or off the internet service, because it could beam it to like countries that don't necessarily get internet access regularly. So like it's in Ukraine right now, and he could turn it on and turn it off, and that's what they're using to control the drones or like strategize the Ukrainian military. So it's kind of crazy. They're like he's turning into like a Bond supervillain.
That's what I've been saying. Like, I don't think people realize how much power he actually has, because it's not in the same sense of like what power used to look like, very like upfront, personal, open, like military power. This is like, homie, like there's so many people's cars, at least out here in Southern California, people be driving Teslas and like that. And then you think about like having his hand in like power in houses, then connections to the internet, and then like
what's the difference with 5 companies owning like 85% of the world's GDP?
Well, versus one company.
But I'm just saying he'll have literally a button that could shut down. Like, I don't think people realize like
no,
there's
that's what I'm saying. That already exists though. He can't do it.
Yeah.
He's below. What I'm saying is the world's GDP is controlled by 5 companies. 85% of the world's GDP.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think
5 companies.
it might just be
Soros,
me, but
Black.
I
Whatever.
think Blackstone is
Well, no, it's
or
they're
Black
all-
Watch.
Yeah, whatever they're called. It's Soros,
BlackRock.
whatever
BlackRock,
the
thank
Halliburton
you.
stuff was, and whatever George Bush Sr. was a part of.
I think maybe it's
5
just me,
companies,
but
they
I think
literally-
no one man should have all that power.
They shouldn't, but
No.
that's why we're in the predicament we are. So yes, while Elon does have the he's got the power of to the eyes of like people,
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, it's
but
like
he don't have the power.
No, but he controls technology, which is kind of like a shift in like, yeah, they have fossil fuels, all the legacy
Exactly.
capital and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But he has technology.
Like,
And
when you think about
kinda
like
shifts it
all
in
of
his
like
favor
the
a
space
little bit.
things are basically being, all of our manned space stuff is SpaceX. Like, so that's anything that's in the future of like space is based on SpaceX. When you think about like,
But what's the difference of like the dudes who started NASA?
well, I think there's a bit
We
of
just don't know them.
NASA
Don't
was
follow them as like
well,
closely.
that's-
NASA was created in the government.
well,
It's a government
that's a little
industry.
different because they
That's
use
different.
Nazi scientists to advance the space program.
We use
Operation
Nazis a
Paperclip.
lot.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'm saying they still had like a CEO or whatever of them and controlled them. So it's like, what's the difference?
Well, but like if you look at
But
these
still, it was a
traditional
government. It was a government agency. It wasn't private. So still, all the money was coming through the government agency. It was still government. Now you have governments paying the private company for it. I'm not saying anything's bad. I'm not saying that,
no,
like,
I'm just asking what's the difference though, because we've always done that. We've always paid for private sectors
But
to
it
do
wasn't-
stuff in the government.
but it wasn't private. NASA was a public. It was
Yeah.
a government.
I mean, there was like some form of oversight. I think now it's just like almost when private companies, there's way less, not like the government has much accountability at all, but like there's even less so with these traditional billionaires. They're very much trying to be relatively low key, fly under the radar. Whereas I don't think any of that is happening with Elon Musk. And I think he's a bit of a megalomaniac, like that Incubus song,
I mean, it's a possibility, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think the Henry Fords, which was an Elon Musk of his time, are.
Well, he was
controlling
he was like problematic too. He was like
I'm saying he wasn't
yeah.
controlling the world.
No,
There's people
but
above them, and I'm saying it's the same thing with the Musk. Like we idolize and see him because he's a face that we can put something to.
I'm not saying it's controlling the world. I'm saying it's kind of wild how many like hands, how many of his hands are in things that we are requiring that are at a different level than what you're talking about. You're talking about financials, but like, which I get as a huge thing. I'm just saying, like, in terms of what people are saying, like, into their future, what's the future going to be? AI future, electronic, like cars future, all those things. Like,
But that's only if we continue using our outdated things, as in like fossil fuels or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, I
If we
think
don't ever branch off
the
of
future
that,
is
then
gonna
say like that.
like because like if you look at emissions regulations, like they want to say by 2035, in California, there's not going to
No,
be any more internal combustion engine vehicles sold new vehicles sold in California.
Well, they just did the light bulb thing just went into effect too.
Oh yeah. I think
incandescents.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
Can't sell 'em.
it's silly because like even LEDs now can be a lot more efficient than they are, but they're still designed to give up. Even they're just like at a slower rate than incandescents.
No, yeah, I think it's always been the same.
It's all planned obsolescence.
Exactly. I think that.
Oh, that's definitely true.
I think like Musk is way more involved, just like Zuckerberg, with the government than people think.
Oh well,
he has to be because we use his technology. So that's not. I mean, people shouldn't think that. People should know that. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. That almost has no difference if the company is private or public at that sense, because they're still colluding or they're still having.
No, it does though, because I'm not saying this is a bad thing or good thing. I'm just saying he has a lot more say in things, I believe, especially because people believe in him and like Elon Musk fans are like your boy Joe Rogan. Like,
yeah, they're fanatical.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, what's the difference of like a Dick Cheney or a Halliburton? These were people that
I don't think it has the same.
Well, I think those people.
Warren Buffett. Like,
Well, because like financials, Elon is been in financials. PayPal. Like was like huge. I mean, it was his sale that really catapulted him into starting to be able to do all these
I
things.
just don't see a difference. I'm saying I don't see a difference.
I mean, I think it's just like because he's more like he's not just in one sector. Like Sean was saying, it's like he's in so many sectors that are vital.
But that's what all the big dudes.
I hear you keep on saying it's always been like that, but I haven't heard you name anyone that's like him.
George Bush.
Not the same.
How's it not the same?
Because he's not in this public eye the same way. He doesn't have the same fanfare the same way.
Donald Trump.
Not the same.
How not?
Because
he's not even a billionaire. He's actually a bad businessman.
And he only had really one business. This man is in multiple.
Warren Buffett.
Not the same. Doesn't have the same
Bill
fanfare.
Gates.
Not the same. Doesn't have the same fanfare.
Well, Bill Gates can
How
be.
not
I
the
think
same?
he can.
He doesn't have the same
Well,
fanfare.
how is he the same? Then?
Yeah, how is he the same?
What is the separating factors that you guys? I don't know the separating factors. I'm talking about people that make a lot of money and have a lot of public perception, power. That's all I'm saying. I don't know
somebody that has that's working with things that are so blatantly upfront involved together in a circuit of future.
Okay,
like Edison.
One thing.
No.
Those guys you're mentioning are privately racist. Elon's kind of publicly racist. There's one big differentiation. Yeah, look at his stuff. He hosted when it was still Twitter or whatever. Like he hosted the Ron DeSantis fucking like presidential candidacy announcement thing. He's
wait, how did he host it? He hosted it on.
Yeah, he was. I think he was at the event or some shit like that. Like he like pushes these. Well, like he like pushes the free speech thing, but free speech just is like, oh, you want people to be
free speech and hate speech.
Well, like if you can like look at the use on Twitter when Elon took over, just the use of the N-word, it like went up like 5,000% after he did it.
Yeah, I understand that. Is that free speech or is it hate speech? Could they be the same? Could they not be the same?
Well, it's kind of tied together. There's like a
what
line.
What do you think? What are your take on it?
I don't really have one.
You can't ask that question without a take, bro.
What was that?
I'm not going to let you play this game.
That was a devilish smirk. If you had a longer mustache, you'd be fucking twirling it right now.
That's what we do. We just renege on stuff. No pun intended. But
besides, it's neg.
Renege. We
never forget.
We like to do stuff. Yeah, you have freedom of speech until it's hate speech. Like, what does that mean? I had free speech.
Yeah.
No, well, your free speech was hate speech. But I thought I had freedom of speech.
Do you think that we actually have freedom
of
speech?
No, I know we don't. But that's what I'm saying. So they spun now hate speech. It's just like, well, isn't it freedom of speech?
What would your ideal be?
But you're saying hateful things. Isn't it still freedom of speech?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No.
Isn't it still freedom of speech, though? I could be saying hateful. I could be saying crazy.
I agree. But like, what would you?
Freedom of speech.
Well, I would say there is free speech. It's called 4chan. Or is it like 8chan?
Is it 8chan?
Reddit. Like these are all like I think Reddit, there's a lot of great resources, but there's also like a cesspool of humanity on there.
Yeah.
Like that's, I think it does legitimately exist. Not on all corners, but these are like, you can't say freedom of speech. Like these are privately held companies. These aren't like they're still privately run. They
hate
might be
speech,
public.
though. I don't even think you can do that. Isn't like any type of
anything could be considered.
isn't that
hate speech.
illegal? Like,
Exactly.
it is. Yeah, like it's
It is. That's
actually
what-
like in like illegal. It's not like private.
It is illegal. You can.
I
be-
understand that from a sense of ultimately the government. Not saying they do this, but like the ideal world is that the government puts things in play that you hope makes a better community and better society. So like that's their take on it. I don't know if that's the case. Like, do you think it makes a better society by
hate speech?
removing hate speech or by keeping it?
Or keeping it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. To me, it doesn't change, but it upholds like the values. If you don't have hate speech, like yeah, of course you can say whatever you want, freedom of speech, and stuff will happen to you.
Yeah.
Repercussions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the whole hate speech thing to me is like it's unnecessary.
So you think that like if some like there shouldn't be a law that would basically be like like bans like outward.
Anything what you say.
Yeah.
Why? If we have freedom of speech, how could there be a law that bans what I can say?
Do you think humans like are better off by being regulated on some things because we can't handle regulations ourselves? So if they're imposed,
Well,
No, I don't necessarily believe
You
that.
did say
I
that-
think that's a learned trait.
You did say that. You did say that like we're born from sin.
that one caught me off guard so
I
bad.
think that's a learned trait.
Please bring that back.
I think that's a
Yeah,
learned trait.
you
Call him out on his.
you did say that we're born from sin. So wouldn't if there's completely free speech, completely unregulated, wouldn't that be like, oh, then we're just going to give in to our basest instincts?
That could be possibly true, but what I'm saying is, if we have freedom of speech, how can we then have a law that takes away your freedom of speech?
Well,
that
it's the whole-
that under like it doesn't supersede, but falls under freedom of speech.
Well, the whole thing with
That's
freedom
like
of
you can go on green lights, but until the light turns green.
Well, the whole thing with freedom of speech is you can have freedom of speech with anything else until you infringe on others' rights.
That's not what it says.
You want to
You're
look it up?
reading in between lines. Freedom of speech.
You're when you infringe on other people's constitutional rights, like the
Constitutional rights.
yeah, the pursuit of happiness and liberty and everything. But happiness, if somebody's calling you racial slurs, I think that infringes on your pursuit of happiness. No, if you want to be semantics with, I don't really want to follow that, but
let me formulate a good rebuttal.
okay, I got nothing but time.
No, because I mean that's all to how you perceive it.
That's a terrible rebuttal. Come on, give me some more.
You're right. Hold on. I'm tired.
Man down.
Man's
Man's
down.
Man's is Marv.
Mans needs the elf bar.
You know what? No, I think that you should be able to say what you want, for sure.
Just no.
Do you think
full
you
stop.
should be allowed in the society though? Like if you say, I'm like, all right, you can say whatever you want, but also we don't like that shit. So we're kicking you
Who's
off.
we?
The
Whatever
people.
the size of society.
But
yeah.
what if I got we's that like what I say with me's?
So then you're kind of leading us to that this basically creates war. But what? So if we don't do this and it negates war, isn't that better?
Possibly.
It's
but
basically
how do we get there?
It's like you're basically saying we should have platforms where we can openly like
do we
verbally
get there?
battle.
That's it though.
We should have platforms where we can like spew hateful speech at each other.
we do. It's
no
called
problem.
Instagram.
No, that's
No,
regulated.
you can't do that.
That's regulated.
Depends if you get flagged. It's not regulated.
That means it's regulated. If you can get flagged, that means you're regulated.
But who's regulating it?
The private,
AI.
the privately held company, the AI, yeah,
The company's not regulating it. They don't flag your post.
the AI that the
AI
company owns,
does.
the AI algorithm that they
runs through words
patented,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, words, I guess you could. Yeah. For
So
sure.
that you're still
Nipples.
regulated.
Yeah.
You're still regulated.
Not really.
Do you want to post some shit right now?
I could post it.
Yeah,
Do it.
and if you get flagged or not,
Write some crazy shit.
yeah, write some crazy shit.
I'd love to see that.
Say something about
Yeah.
Asian people. I dare you.
The thing is,
Nah,
no,
he would
because
use
where do
the
we
R
see
word.
all this stuff? We see it on
Oh
the,
well, he does it anyway.
we
I
see
know,
it
that's what
on
I
the
mean.
internet already, but the thing is, not everything is flagged.
Yeah, you can, because they don't catch everything. There's ways around it too. You know,
How
like
could they not catch everything if it's AI?
well, like look at like how when we
only
make captions,
ChatGPT-3.
we edit the captions. You know,
They're not there yet.
But I'm saying if it's
And
only
you
going
can
off of
change
stuff
it.
that we're inputting, how could it not catch racist slurs?
I mean, I think it does.
I think it does.
I think if
I think some stuff it
if you did
doesn't.
it on your own separate channel, you made one and then you just went full.
I mean,
The thing is,
full
you
crazy
can-
Trey.
We know this. No, you can say certain things that are racist or sexist or bigoted about marginalized communities, while you can't say them about certain other communities.
But
We
there's
know
like
this.
certain things that like I mean think about it, you can't
know
say
this.
you have to say corn star now because it knows that.
But that's what I'm
You
saying.
have to spell sex s.ex or
Because
like
that's what I think people are trying to just over sensationalize and trying to make that the new thing, like over sexualized. Everything's over sexualized, overstimulated.
wait
patriarchy.
how's this linked to the words used?
Oh, it doesn't link to words used. I was just saying what you were saying.
Oh, about
Yeah.
everything being overly sexualized.
Well, I think also like how it can't catch everything. It's because like maybe like people are always finding ways around stuff. They just haven't put that into like they haven't input that specific thing, so it's not getting caught. So it's like eventually it's always playing catch up with.
I feel you should be able
human
to
thought.
say what you want.
Yeah.
There should be obviously the repercussions, though.
yeah.
I'm not taking that away.
So
Oh,
like
you mean the public?
I was
Societal
thinking about this
repercussions.
the
I'm
other
not
day.
saying that there should be no repercussions.
I was talking
All
about
I'm
this.
saying is that you should be able to say whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Well, but then isn't like you get banned? That's a repercussion, right?
Yeah.
I never
That's
said.
no, but so he's saying
No,
you can
that
do
is
it.
that, yeah, you could do it.
That's
yeah,
what he's
and that's
saying.
what
You
happens.
should-
What
you
I'm
should be able to
saying.
catch
Yeah.
that.
There should be no like this hate speech law.
I feel like you would also then, in a weird way, be down with like social credit scores because, like, ultimately,
it makes
like,
more sense. I
like
guess.
ultimately, like you can say and do
We're
whatever you
already,
want,
like,
but you're
somewhat of a
if your social credit score drops, that's on you.
because it is.
Damn, you are like a weird Black Mirror episode, bro.
I don't know. It seems like weird that Trey is all. Well, I mean, you're definitely libertarian, but you're also
But
into
not-
like some of these really fascist authoritarian ideas, which
What's wrong with it?
But he also wants. But he also wants total free speech.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
hey,
Good lord.
if they come for me in the night, they're coming for you in the morning.
No, yeah, I mean, I that's what
Imagine
I'm
Trey
saying.
as a Saudi prince.
I would love it because I would be like raining gifts on some people and raining over some people.
Mohammed bin Reuben.
Mohammed bin Ballin.
His rap name coming out.
Jeez. No, yeah, we should be able to do what we want, but in the same sense, I'm not trying to say there should be no repercussions.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy because you're not a big fan of Killer Mike, but a lot of your stuff parallels what he says. He says that same thing.
100%. He
He's like,
does.
we need to have that. If we can say whatever, like we need to have those people on there as the opposition to the other thing. So
Yes,
it's like,
because that's the thing when we forget that open dialogue is important and healthy, and we forget that having different opinions is healthy. That's
But
where we are. We're
there's
starting to have
ways
the
to express
uniform
that, like,
or,
you can- you
one opinion. Everyone's now trying to live under one box, and if you don't fit under these rules,
I don't
you're
know if it's.
ostracized.
Do you think it's necessary? Well, okay, in some it is 100%. Some is one box because there are some things where like
Some
that's
things.
a yes
Yeah,
or
I'm not
no.
saying
but like not
everything,
everything. But
yeah.
like
Some things.
as a society, isn't the whole goal of a like
It is, should
society
be
to
different.
move? No, isn't it all so we can find the roof and walls of what we all agree in?
No,
That's how
I
we-
think it should. I think to me it should be everyone having different perspectives and personalities and opinions, but then being able to find a way to come together to coincide.
That's what I mean. You're still inside the same. Like you might have some different areas, but ultimately, if you go outside of that thing, then you're either
I will say
enemy of the state or the.
there are ways to express your bigotry, your misogyny, your transphobic beliefs.
Of course, but
And
just because you eloquently say it doesn't make it any better.
No, exactly. But like, well, when you say it like that,
I
though,
wouldn't
but
have to be
these
saying
are-
yours and you or yours in general.
well, they're saying like look
You
at it
are?
like you just don't use certain trigger words because like that's
Yeah.
not productive to an open dialogue
Agreed.
because
Exactly.
you're using
That's agreed.
But that goes counter what you're saying. You should say anything. I believe in an open dialogue, but when you're using insults, that's not conducive to an open exchange of ideas and opinions.
You can use insults, but I think that being able to like talk above that kind of stuff just shows and emphasizes your point more.
But I think you also, like, I've heard you say, like, be tough. Like, I think you also, and like, I don't think
the world's
that's
not the easiest place.
But I don't think that's fair though, because not every
but
8 billion people, not everyone's going to be like able to.
I'm not saying that, but everyone's under the assumption that the world's supposed to be nice to them.
I don't think so.
I think everyone should be under the assumption that it can be.
But why?
Because it can.
But it also could not be.
I know, but what one do you want?
Yeah, but you're leaning towards the other way.
That's what I'm saying. What one do you want to choose?
Look at like
I'm saying it's a either or. It's not a
correct.
It should be just this. It's like,
but if you ask,
what you want to make,
if I walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, man, do you want would you like your life to be good or bad?" What's somebody going to say? Oh, do I want it to be shitty as fuck? I don't know. They're probably saying they want to be good.
What people say and what they do are normally two complete different things. So they would tell you that they would want it to be nice and stuff, but their actions would probably prove
counter.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
But I think that's lacking context.
No, I think anyone says they would want better things, but then in the same sense, do things that they know.
Well, their better might be evil against somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think that's the idea. Is like you must realize, ultimately, that's what I was saying about in a society. If you're going to be in that society, then you have to realize that if the thing that you want is bad at somebody else, now you're outside that box. Like you can't work in a society. You can't be on the same team and be like, oh, I want to tear that person down.
Unless you have enough people.
I mean, well,
But then you don't want that society. You want to make a new one.
I mean, look at what you're saying. Ron DeSantis.
That's what we do.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate. They're
that's
obviously
what they do.
Yeah.
They're not saying anything that's like
they're exercising their free speech,
like
but they're
I
just
know,
not
Ron
using.
DeSantis might be a little.
but he's not saying anything that hasn't ever been said or done.
Well, you could say that about anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
it's like, well, when you're when you
he's
say
not the first
eloquently, you can do-
over-sensationalized person talking reckless. He
I don't
won't be
think
the
he's.
last.
I don't think he's over sensationalized. I think he's properly sensationalized.
Yeah.
He's fucking. He's out of
He's
pocket.
wild,
the pocket
dude.
was like
He
was
is
like 100
wild.
miles back there.
He is
Like
wild.
I do wonder, like the people I do know in Florida, I'm like,
Wild boys.
y'all got a wild boy. Like you're just cool with like.
But then in the same sense, not to say anything, but people from over there say the same thing about us.
Yeah.
With
Although I
Newsom.
don't know. Yeah. I mean,
Well, Florida is a wild.
we
place
also
'cause
don't
there's-
like Newsom.
They probably also don't like.
That's what I'm curious. I'm
You know
curious
what I
because like
mean?
most
They're
of the people are like, I don't.
It's always
I
just
don't really
one
like
bad
Newsom.
apple that ruins the bunch. They're all like, they could be redneck with loving gators or whatever, but it's like, we don't really care about what he's saying.
I love Gators now. too.
Redneck loving gators. Yo, his words, not
That
ours.
sounds like some weird.
What?
Was that a slur against someone particular? Like,
Yeah, I think he's taking the
Nah.
shot.
Floridians.
He's taking the shot.
Yeah, 'cause-
Floridians.
No, I'm being.
Is that hate speech?
No, Floridians are normally outside.
Oh, we can get flagged now.
and a lot of them are of Caucasus descent.
Oh, from the Caucasus Mountains.
So what they do is they get reddish.
teach these?
They get
devils.
pink,
I say reddish.
pink skin. The craziest thing.
So just
Do you know the origins of that story? The redneck, that term.
No.
It was actually about coal miners, and they'd wear a red bandana around their neck.
wow.
Damn.
Look it up, people. I don't want to.
Huh.
I don't want to tell right now. I don't care enough. It's really interesting though,
It is, that's
because it has to
interesting,
do with like workers' rights. The Pinkerton Agency
And they
about
were of
suppressing
lower
workers'
class,
rights.
that's why they're
'cause
rednecks.
it was coal miners, yeah,
I
and
see
they
it.
all
It
had that
makes
thing.
sense,
Like,
so if
yeah,
I
makes
wear
sense.
a red bandana on my neck, am I culturally appropriating the
Well, if the rednecks
redneck?
say that that's a culture, then yeah.
well, it's so disconnected. But I think if you do it in LA, if you go like below the 10, I think that's
That would be
on
bad.
you. That's
I was
on you,
thinking
dog.
about these shoes
Flagging
with
the
my
wrong
laces,
colors,
and
boy.
I was like, "Damn, I got both sides."
I think you'll just get fucked up by both if you went
Yeah,
in the wrong
they
hood.
just double
To
jump.
be honest with you.
Make up your mind.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean,
Shout out Grape Street.
I would say though, man, DeSantis is like, I'm 100% saying A-OK, not down. Fuck that guy. It's A-OK.
Oh, I was confused.
it's A-OK?
100% A-OK, not down with that
Not
guy.
down that dude.
I'm 100% not down with him, but I'm also not wanting to infringe upon his rights to.
I'm
do
not
what he
saying
wants to.
a fringe anything.
No,
I'm
that's
just,
what
I'm just holding my, just saying like, yeah, you know.
I
But
don't back what he's saying, but hey, he should be able to say what he wants to say.
what about people who try to say things and can't? Like
In what sense?
Mitch McFreeze,
Ooh, like
that McConnell freeze,
what do you mean?
not
That
Matthew.
man. Oh, yeah.
Like what do you mean?
Talk that talk.
That's
Somebody
the thing
somebody
that
throw
I'm saying.
something.
We need a limit, bro. You shouldn't.
How
be,
old is Mitch McConnell?
He's 81.
Yeah.
And these people are not giving up their seats.
Man's
saying
is closer to death than he is
government
to
is
life.
not supposed to be a career.
When he
gig,
froze,
bro.
it looked like
he lost all sense of reality.
it just.
It's like when your computer freezes and it's either if you're a
He
Mac,
had
it's the
that fucking
pinwheel,
pinwheel, bro.
or it's
55
the
is the cutoff. 55.
no man.
you can't do that.
My mom.
Why?
That's what we were saying earlier. Like
55.
our parents when they were 70, I think like if you were turning 70 in your term,
Okay.
but maybe what you're saying is how long in one spot, how many years? Because I think like if you get in there and you're there for 25, 30 years, like yo, you
You shouldn't be able to be in government over 55 years old.
I don't. I hard disagree, but I feel like
I don't
a
know
term
on
limit
that
for
one.
any one position, you shouldn't be there longer there than like 10 years.
55, dude. We don't need old people making decisions for the youth.
Yeah,
Bro,
but I also
55 's
don't
not that
think
old.
that's not
I
that
know.
old.
I know that.
Look at
That's
Jordan.
exactly what I
Wait,
know.
how old
So
is
what,
Jordan?
like how small would your pocket be? Because don't tell me they can be like any age younger.
30 years.
No, but how long? So from
30
30
years.
to 30?
25 to 55.
Nah, hell no. I don't know my 25-year-old president yeeting
Didn't say
him.
the president would be 25.
Like you want a senator? 25?
Why not?
I could fuck with that.
What, like,
I mean, like-
we got old people that are being wheeled in there with wheelchairs.
Do you think that you know better? But do you think you as a person right now know better?
I think I
about
would do
things?
better things for the community being in my position now rather than people who've been in those power
when you were
seats
25,
for 50 years.
no, when you were 25
yeah,
compared
I think
to
I
now.
would. I would think I would be trying to do better.
I would not say the Trey that I knew at 25. Yeah,
25
but at
compared
25
to
as
now?
a thing.
I was in that kind of line of work. I feel at
Civically
25, my real missions would be to help and change things.
Yeah, because you haven't yet been crushed by the reality
That's
of capitalism.
exactly what I'm
Alright.
saying.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, I've seen like, yeah, they could
You're
be.
fresh.
They could
we
be.
know this. Lawyers, when they become lawyers, they want to help. They do defense. They're fighting.
Yeah, they're a public defender. They're like, I
after
can't make a life
they've
like
seen
this.
how
I think
the
they also
system-
have to do that just because they have to do
but
that.
then after they see how the
Uh-huh.
system works, what do? They go where the money takes them.
Flavor
So
Town?
you're so wide-eyed when you're just staring them down like that.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I know. It should be 55, 25 to 55, bro.
Yeah, nah.
And why? What's
Yours
your
is cool.
rebuttal?
It's cool. I think
70.
like
What,
I think
what's
right now
better
it's
with
at
old
35.
age? What's better with old age?
I think right now like
Wine.
35 wine is much better with old age. No, I think that when it comes down to it, you need a range that's also still connect. If we have people living till 80 and you cut it off at 55, now you have a 25-year window of disconnect. That doesn't make sense.
It does, because they're on the way out.
That still doesn't make sense. That you have that just because you said they are on the way out. That
Makes total sense.
no, it doesn't.
Why should the people on the way out have say over what's happening?
Not have say, but be connected, which is the problem. What you're talking about right now, you can't use your like if you're like, oh, there's disconnect to the youth, then you can't also disconnect the old. I'm saying,
But I'm not
if you're at-
disconnecting the old with no regard. I'm saying they're on their way out. That's why
yeah,
I'm
but they still
discounting
need,
them.
but they still living. They still have the most money.
For sure.
So in a country where they have the most money and they're still living the longest, how would you just label for 25 years you're on your way out? That doesn't make any sense.
I didn't say it made sense.
But then what's your point behind it?
I think that it would help us. Because I
Help
don't
who?
think the people that are in these seats of power who are over the age of 55 are doing anything good. That's what I'm saying.
And you just think that people would
Bernie
be,
Sanders.
yeah.
He's the one of the handful. Let's
true.
talk
You-
about
Not
every.
many. There's not many behind him.
Let's
You guys
talk about
got-
all the other people who we know are colluding. Who
Wait,
we know
how
are
many
doing-
people do you know on Congress?
I like the young people.
But how many people? Dude, there's literally hundreds.
Okay.
You don't know them. So, like, I wouldn't try to use a statistic that you don't know about. Like, there's the old names that we know, which I think we all agree shouldn't be there because they're too old. But, like,
But that's
people
all I'm
that-
saying. There should be an age limit.
I don't like a lot of the young ones. too.
70.
That's way too old. Look at the dude who's 70 years old. Look at Joe Biden. He's 70.
No, he's 80 something.
He's that old?
Is he? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think he's going to turn 80 if he's the president again. So he's got to be up in his high 70s, which is old.
That
Too
sounds
old.
all right.
Yeah, it's just too old. I mean, I even say if you like 65, how old?
He's 80.
He's 80.
Born on November 20th.
Yeah,
he's a
dude.
Scorpio, unfortunately.
Too old.
That's way too
Way
old.
too old.
No one here is saying that that's good. Nobody here is saying that.
I think if you can fall and you break your hip, there's like,
If you got life support,
yeah.
Okay,
You should be able to break your hip and be capable.
Then 60. Then 60.
all right.
That was
Okay,
5
that's
more
good.
years.
Yeah.
5 years is what we're arguing
Just
about.
because I have to disagree with you, I'll say 65.
I would go with 65.
Retirement age.
65. Yeah. That's cool. That sounds more realistic.
agreed.
Yeah.
Look at that
65.
open dialogue. Look at
Awesome.
that.
Would you still keep it 25? Because
Yes.
I'd move it up.
It has to be 25. 'Cause
Nah,
you have to give the kids
Because
in
if the same year that you can get a hotel room is the same year you can, you have to be at least be able to buy a hotel room for 1 year before you can be in a.
But that's just kind of like a weird.
No, because you could be a mayor probably at 20.
Yeah, no, you can. Yeah, I've seen people run
Yeah,
for mayor that are like.
I mean, dogs can be mayors.
But that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. So
but-
25 is fine.
but they're
Any
good
position-
boys and or girls.
Not saying that's just the minimum. You have to be 25.
Yeah.
I like that. 25, 65, 40 years.
That's
No,
good.
let's
That's
go.
pretty good.
Let's go.
But I still think though you can't be in a position of the same position
Longer than
for
10
the whole
years.
40
I think 10
years.
years. Like
10
in
years
any
already
one
too much,
position,
bro.
No, in any
Yeah.
one position.
Yeah.
10 years is already too much.
Yeah, move around. You can
should
stay
move
in there,
around.
but move around.
They should have to rotate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn something new.
They should have to rotate.
Sanitation.
I'm looking at you, Diane Feinstein.
Yeah.
Dying Feinstein.
You think Diane Feinstein's dying Feinstein?
Bro.
She an alien?
No, we're not aliens.
Did
but,
Mitch McConnell, like in Men in Black when he froze, like the little
froze,
baby aliens that were in the Men in
No,
Black
the thing
heads?
is, he just stroked out. Sadly,
It's
He
not
was trying to say something.
It's not
the whole
Mitch.
time.
It's Mitch in an Egger suit.
In an
He's,
Egger suit?
His sugar, freaking
water.
I feel like he was just doing a hard reset and
Yeah.
like
That's all it was.
Yeah.
oh, what if the mothership was making him reset while he was in the middle?
shit. They were
mid-speech?
like, yeah.
hold on, just give him
He
like,
hit that
just give
hard
him like 30
reboot.
seconds. We're updating his
They
firmware
control
right now.
alt deleted them.
Yeah, I could do that though.
You think
25, 65.
do you think the alien thing is real or it's just some
I think it's definitely real, but not how they're telling us.
What do you think it is? Teach these devils.
I think it's a way to get most of the people scared into unifying under a one world power because we're fighting this intergalactic stuff that's going to take us all out. So we all have to band together.
Do you think it's just a
pretty good
distraction
story,
against what's
dude.
actually happening right now?
I believe
I was
that's.
thinking that.
I believe that's what's the distraction in play is at the moment. Yes.
You think it's a distraction of Hunter Biden or distraction?
No, I think everything is
of
because
Ukraine
I honestly
or distraction.
think about
of-
this. Just think about this real quick. All the space aliens they say we found, right? They say they were wreckage, right?
Yeah.
From
Biological
but
remnants.
basically
yeah.
from a thing flying in here that crashed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being
You
said,
think they got shot down?
how could something a million years more advanced than us that can travel interdimensionally just crash?
Maybe they're using a Logitech, bro.
That's the logic
they-
that they
then they
want
would
us
not-
to be
then they
thinking
would
with when
not
they tell
crash.
us these stories. Oh, we're finding all these wreckages from civilizations thousands of years beyond us from they're crashing here? Or are we downing them?
Maybe they did. Maybe they did their measurements and not in the metric
I
system.
don't
So
know.
They didn't carry a one
Yeah.
when they went over.
You know, we don't crash that often when we're going in outer space.
yeah.
No, we crash more on.
I don't know if it's
Earth.
real. Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I mean, did you not see War of the Worlds? It was ended because the
It-
guy
the
got
guy
cold.
could- yeah.
Or
They cut the-
Signs. Shout out
Signs.
whatever
What
his
happened
name
to
is.
Signs?
They were like water,
No,
or they were
Signs the
allergic.
bees?
They were allergic to baseball bats.
It was it was some, but Signs was the bees ones, right?
Wait, they
No,
were
I think
allergic
that was
to
something else.
baseball bats?
Yeah, because they could get killed by them when they get hit repeatedly in the face.
Wasn't it was what was the one Silent Place? Quiet Place. It was the sound. It was like
Oh,
the
sound,
frequency.
yeah.
Yeah, the frequency.
So they were
They got
quiet,
them?
yeah.
So
The
that
sound.
the
What
highest
if they just
frequency got them?
they got into the atmosphere and they heard the new like Miley Cyrus bop and they just like got too it either blew their heads up or they were just too busy like
It was
bopping to it. They're just
Again,
like,
we haven't been able to like
the
at least
timbre
they
of
tell
Playboy
us,
Cardi's
like,
voice.
speak because they don't probably communicate like we do because it's probably telepathically since that's how they like control their stuff. So I mean, I don't know.
Wait, they control their stuff telepathically?
Supposedly we
You
can
didn't-
talk to them, bro.
oh wait, no.
How, wait, did the dude say that? He said that we can talk to them?
Like you and I, we can. Like we all can.
Vocally, mentally.
So they would be
Don't
talk-
read
they
all
could,
my thoughts. Damn.
They could talk
It's a
to us
messy place in there.
because they would just do it.
Well, that's what the whole thing is.
Telepathically.
They're
It
saying
just
like
would
the couple of groups that are already like legit about this, they have like group meditations to where they're saying they communicate with.
Well, there's a lot of people that
I mean,
say
that,
they can
they've
do a
been
lot of
doing
stuff.
that shit. People been communicating with spirits, which is basically the same
But that's
thing,
what
right?
makes it more believable to me because it's like the cloaking and stuff. They say like aliens, they say they don't really have cloaking. It's they travel interdimensionally, and when it breaks our dimensional
Because
plane,
they're at a different dimension. So
They're just
Well,
popping
no,
into
they're-
our dimension.
they're traveling actually through dimensions to
yeah,
get here.
yeah,
It's not actually distance. It's like Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
So they're saying like the real stuff, like they say like 99% of the UFO stuff is definitely stuff we made to kind of mess us up and get us thinking that
Oh, we made up the
they say 90% of the like the UFO spaceships and stuff.
Yeah.
we make them or Chinese government makes them, and it's all for like the disinformation.
Well, what if
from the real ones.
like we've actually seen aliens, but we're trained to be so skeptical of everything that we just disbelieve it, even
The
if
dudes
like.
at the syndicate saying that they've got 17 different alien species.
But then you're also believing the government, so I feel like you don't believe
not
the government.
necessarily the government.
He's the government.
He was.
He's
He was the government.
But
Parts
I mean,
of, but that's what they're saying though.
once
They're
you're
saying that
government, you never leave.
Well,
It's
that's
like
the thing
gang.
is they're saying
You're always
when,
ops.
when you're in the government. The thing
You're
is
a
about
fed.
that
Yep.
it's so compartmentalized. You're only read into what you need to be read into.
Yeah, that's the
so
whole
you
thing.
can have the most top level secret clearance, but you're only read into, and you only know what you need to know that pertains to your job.
You're still a Fed.
And they break everything up so well that people don't know the whole story.
Yeah,
They
that's
can't-
how
that's
how
amazing.
you keep
Keep
like
under
things
wrap.
from leaking.
So when they have
so
people from
completely.
JPL and stuff working on stuff, they literally give them one piece,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all
That's how
they
you
can
keep it.
work on this.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you have everything, if we're trying to reverse engineer, we need more.
They're like, no.
So do you
this is
believe
that.
the moon landing happened?
They said the moon landing happened, and they said that Buzz Aldrin.
No, I'm saying, do you believe it?
They said it's real, and they said
Stop
that
saying
Buzz
they. I'm
Aldrin-
asking you.
I'm not gonna. I refrained. I don't know, but he's
I will neither
saying-
confirm nor deny these allegations.
I have no feelings.
He's saying that when he landed, he saw 5 different alien crafts hovering, just watching them the whole time they were there.
Buzz?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, supposedly that's why he gets all pissed off when people are like, "It's fake." And remember, he socked out that fool that was saying it was fake recently.
No.
Some guy like was heckling Buzz Aldrin and be like, "The moon landing is fake. We've never been there." And the full Buzz Aldrin socked
Well, I
him
feel
out.
like people have also been saying that for
Robert.
like 50 years. So I'd punch out
Yeah.
anybody at the same
That's
time,
what
whether
I'm
if it was fake or not. So,
But I mean, like
annoying.
you're saying, these are people that we should take their word into consideration, right?
I don't know. You're like
You're gonna use
just
that
like,
on
you're
us,
just, You're
huh?
just like
Should,
it's like you're
You're flipping the
taking a contrarian role to what you've told me before. So I
and
don't know.
just for the record,
I feel like it really depends on what your perspective is on how.
mean,
that's
for
It
the-
is.
for
Do you
the-
believe people?
for
Do
the
you believe people
camera-
are good?
for the camera, do you believe this guy?
I don't really believe anyone I don't know. I'm trying to decipher through as much information as I can. To
So-
try to
So you don't know
piece
any of
some-
these
After
people, so
you
you don't
looked
really
up
believe
the
any of this
stats
stuff.
on climate change after our last communication,
Okay.
has your opinion on it changed any bit? What a bro, you're tripping.
So
I've
who
even found out that there's been a time in the world's existence that had exactly as much CO2 output as we do now, and there was almost
Yeah,
no people there
but
or
there-
buildings.
because it was all volcanoes.
Just saying, we're still here.
Yeah, there was
Why
no
was that
life.
such a high? That was like
There's
15
no life.
octaves.
I
Just
think
saying, we're still there. We're still here, right?
no, because we came after the fact.
Oh, but because that
Well,
one
but
wasn't
who's saying this stuff that you believe them and not other
Well, I'm just
people?
saying because that one wasn't man-made climate change, even though the levels
No,
are
no,
exactly
no.
the same.
No, but
No-
who's
no
saying
one-
this stuff that you believe them instead of these other people, and you don't know them, right?
Me to decipher from
Who's they? Who
government
are
officials.
the
The government officials that you believe
but,
now.
but we never said, and no
Dang,
one
which
says
government
that.
officials do you believe?
No one's saying that humans. I mean, people are, but the statement isn't humans caused climate change. The statement is humans speed up or are making climate change worse. And in that sense, if whether that be true or
It's
if you think
inevitably
it's
true,
never,
though, of course.
but wouldn't you want the future to have?
But that's the thing. I don't know if we're making it dead worse. inevitably, yes, just by us being here, it has to be thrown.
I mean, if if the majority of the numbers are saying though we are making it dead worse, where in certain parts of the world they'll become uninhabitable, where certain areas will be affected by certain
Bangladesh.
things that kill them, or misplay or move them, whatever.
Florida.
Like all the things. If that's on statistical scales, on tests like that, that's like, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. We feel really confident on that. Then you don't want that for a future, right? And so if somebody's
just like
so we just
Antarctica used to be habitable.
So if you just took but
Iceland used to be habitable.
But we're not saying that
Iceland is habitable now. You're talking about Greenland.
Greenland used to be habitable.
People
It's still habitable.
But I mean, like, Antarctica used to be habitable.
Yeah, but you're talking about like millions of years ago.
I'm talking just in general. We know this. It used to be habitable.
Yeah, but between
the
those
Sahara
two,
Desert used to be the Amazon forest.
Between those two times,
this is fact.
Between those two times, there was clearly a slow, gradual change. And what's being said right now is we are speeding up or expediting that change.
And I don't know if I believe that.
But if we are but if the thought is like you're speeding up or expediting it, and like you want kids, because you've said that before, don't you think it's just in the general kindness of, or like, for your future to be like, I don't want to speed you guys up to the inevitable death?
But we would have to change everything we're doing for me to hop on that board. I can't be like, let's save the planet, but everyone drive diesel trucks around and everyone just waste money on these things that destroy the planet.
Wait, what?
I'm confused.
All we do, okay, I'm down with it. If we want to save the planet, let's save the planet. But we're not. We just want to pick and choose how we want to save the planet. We don't want to stop buying Nikes. We don't want to stop driving. We don't want to stop flying places. We don't want to stop doing things.
I mean, I think in terms of pollution, it's not. It's more on an industrial and commercial level that individual choices.
No, but I'm
make
saying if we
impact.
want to save the planet, then
we'd have to change the industries. But I would say, do you think we're the kind of trying to connect and weave this thread?
Obviously not.
Do you think we're the creators of our own destruction? Did you just touch my butt?
I did. There was no smooth way to do that.
Yeah, it's like
we could be,
because it's like whether
Isn't
or not
that very religious?
whether or not we're affecting the planet.
Of course we are. That's inevitable.
But you
by
100%.
by us being here, we affect it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Just by us occupying it, we are affecting it.
Yeah.
If we weren't here.
But there's ways we can negatively affect it or positively affect.
But I'm saying I got that.
And
but
so,
I'm saying if we want to do everything positively, let's do the positive shit. But I don't see us doing anything positive besides saying stuff.
I recycle.
Cool.
I mean,
I got a bidet.
How does the ocean in Bali look?
yeah, but again, to Josh's point, though, that's more of an industrial scenario.
No, but that's why I brought it to the point. We don't want to stop the way we live. We don't want to stop buying the clothes we like. We don't want to stop watching the entertainment we like. We don't want to stop going to the places we want to do.
Agreed.
All those industries are fueled off of the destruction of the planet.
Well, the whole thing is like we don't have any other choices unless we want to go.
We do.
Live in the. Like, we can't all go live in the forest.
But I actively do things where I know I'm actively putting my money towards things that are
more sustainable.
Sustainable. Like, I actively do that. Now, I can't do as much for other people, but I would like to say out loud, hey, I do that. So if you guys are thinking about doing that, it's possible and easy. Do I do it for everything? No, because
100%.
I have the inability to do so. And to live and do what I'm doing and do that. If I wanted to do that, I'd better up my skills because I know shit about building houses and, skinning animals and
stuff.
stuff.
That's all I'm saying. I get it. Let's save the planet, but I don't see anyone saving the planet.
Yeah, but it's still like Josh will say this too about it. Like you have like this apathetic thing where it's like because the planet doesn't want to, then like you seem like your attitude is I don't care either. Like
no, I'm going along with society.
Well, the whole thing is like we are given only if we are existing in this society where these are the only means of like production.
We all know we can live outside of the society.
we can. But
We all
in a
choose-
society.
We all choose to participate in this society.
Yes.
Yeah,
we do.
and then
We all
with,
willfully
with
choose to do things that we know hurt the planet.
yeah.
well, I'm saying like within the
I'm not
society.
But with that being said, is what I'm saying. I get it. We want to. If everyone did 2%, for sure, it's helping.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying within the
But
society.
how much is it helping?
Within the society,
Is what I'm saying.
we're given these options, and you kind of were saying this in like a couple episodes ago, like about protesting or anything. It's like, oh, like none of that really matters because we're just like we're doomed to this existence. But it's like if everybody believed like that, then we're just perpetuating our own system. Like I think there's no such thing as monumental change that happens fast. Everything is gradual, whether it's
Climate change.
yeah, that is gradual. Like it's not gonna
it's
it's
gonna
not gonna
happen
change tomorrow. It's not gonna change it's not gonna like doomsday's not coming in 100 years, but I think it's coming. Like you believe it's coming, but it's like why
that's inevitable, right?
Yeah.
we
that's
can
inevitable.
our individual actions can influence
That's
like
inevitable. Like
larger
we try to
structures.
fight the inevitable.
We do.
yeah, but you're saying like we shouldn't even change the structures because we're all like doomed to the same fate. So like
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if we really want to change stuff, let's change stuff. Let's not pretend.
yeah, but
But
then
I
you're
think
also
some
saying
people
like
aren't pretending.
yeah.
Some people definitely aren't pretending, and those are like the outliers. I would definitely say like a Mother Teresa wasn't pretending
Yeah,
about
but
how she lived her life. I could say if Jesus was real, he
I
wasn't
don't-
pretending. Gandhi wasn't pretending. These
If
people
I-
live way different than most people.
But if I'm doing in my life certain steps, that's me better than doing nothing. I don't think I'm pretending. Is somebody going to ask me, "Hey, are you doing everything you can?" No, clearly I'm not.
But are
Am
you
I-
even doing 10% of what you could?
Like what
I
do you
mean,
like
what would that
that's
equate
kind
to?
of like
What should I
on
write
this
that
whole
out
scale
to?
of like not driving a car, taking a bicycle, like no, like you said, it's
So that's
but
what I'm saying. It's
it's
picking and choosing. So how do you get to say protect the world, but
because it's
choose how you
because it's
destroy it?
incremental change. Like like, do you want to change your behavior to be healthier? Are you gonna like? Do you think exercising 1 day a week is better than no days a week?
I think that if you exercise for 1 minute, 1 day out of the month, it doesn't do you any good.
I'm not asking that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying one
that's
day
not
a week.
what I'm doing.
I never said that's why I said how much percentage do you think, or how much could you do more?
We could do a lot more, but
I mean, I
I'm
can
asking you
always do more.
a basic level. You're like saying unless it's like a big thing, there's no reason to do it.
Well, there's no reason to try to make other people feel like they should.
But then you're just like obviously
think
like
there is a
you can
reason to
influence. I
encourage
think you
people.
can influence people or try to influence
Yeah.
people.
You can definitely influence
There-
people. to
I
do
think
anything.
encouraging people to do something. I mean, I can just take it into like wouldn't you encourage people to like do like if they're like
I try not to encourage anyone to do anything.
if some dude was like, "Hey man, I really like making music. I'm going to be a producer. I sometimes don't know about it, but like I heard your stuff."
Do
And
what you can, bro. Run it up.
you wouldn't encourage him to keep it going.
That is encouragement. Run it up, bro. Do what you can.
So yeah, you encourage that person. So you do encourage people to do things, and encouragement's not bad if you feel like because in
I
yourself.
don't encourage people to do things they don't want to do.
Well, obviously, but yeah, like
Well, I don't think anyone.
So I don't think it's really encouragement if you're already going to do it.
no encouragement is encouragement.
Encouragement's like, hey, this is possible if you're interested. You can do it. I'm encouraging. Like that's like to me, like that'd be encouraging. Yeah.
Like Trey, I think you should move to LA. I think it's possible. I think it'd
possible.
benefit you.
That's
And
encouragement,
I
I guess.
Yeah, encouragement. What in various degrees, it's encouragement.
And I just, I don't want to infringe on anybody. So I like for people to do what they want to do.
yeah, I don't think that there's anything about infringing.
Isn't that what protests are, though?
No, you're not
No,
infringing on anything.
that's you encouraging people to do something different. Ultimately, it might be a forceful encouragement, a loud encouragement, but I mean,
then that's where we get to the point where other people's opinions mean more than others, right?
that's how in the terms of you, it's always been that way. That's nothing new. So like that's not even a question.
So we try to encourage people to do what we want them to do.
That's
Yeah.
always been
That's
that
what a
way.
strike
That's what
is.
humans do.
That's what protest is. That's how change gets done, both
Maybe
positive
that's why I
and
like
negative.
Kanye so much.
I mean, that's what courting usually like basically is.
That's why I like
You're
Kanye so
encouraging
much, 'cause
someone
he
to like
He tries
you.
to go against the grain so hard.
And he tries to get people to believe what he believes.
Yeah,
So,
That's probably why I like him.
but that's like
but then you
That's
like
infringing
somebody
too.
that's yeah.
infringing.
You like
He's
somebody
doing
that
it forcefully.
encourages-
He's using negative language.
He's not
So
doing it
isn't that
forcefully.
infringement?
Like
He's not strong handing anybody.
His platform, he's so well known. Anything he says, people could take literally. Then you,
They did
I know
that
your
with- they
your
did that
refrain
with
would be
Skeet.
your refrain would be your refrain would be. It's up to them to do something. That's encouraging, though. He's encouraging people.
But he doesn't really encourage when he says he does stuff. People may follow what he says.
But that just means that he's ignorant to his power. If that's what
He's
it's
not.
That.
He's
I
not.
wouldn't say that.
and he's not ignorant to his power. But like, it's kind of like how like this is like a little bit different, but same. Like when Elon was talking all about what was when Doge? Elon was talking all about Doge,
Dogecoin.
and it went up real high, and he even like changed the symbol on Twitter to Doge for one day, and then pulled it like out. I'm like, clearly he just manipulated it. Like you can't say, "Oh, I was just doing that," and I had no idea that.
He can though.
I know he can, but like logically,
He could say that.
I know he can say
Yeah, but
whatever
he knows he's
want.
influencing
I know he
people.
can say whatever you want. But if I like, do you think that the person who does all this other stuff doesn't have the logic or reason
Of
to
course
see
he
that?
knows that, but in the scheme of things, they had the cognitive decision.
Who's they?
People who decided to do something off of an action of his.
I mean, if he's pulling the market through something, which he was doing, there's some people that if they were invested, if people like went and chased it, yeah, but if people were invested in it and they just like, and I get it, yeah, that's what investments are, but I'm just saying there's a sense where like people, that's technically him encouraging the price, like Kanye is the same thing. Like there's people like your action is encouraging to your outer public, to
But
your
is
audience.
that their fault? And should they be penalized for that?
Okay, well, so this is going to take this thread of. I think we should.
No, it depends on which way you go.
It does. But should they be penalized because of things that they do that aren't wrong or anything like that, and people decide to follow?
Well, what about like fascists, like rulers and leaders who
That's
are
what I'm
like,
saying. When you have enough people that agree with
but
you,
shouldn't they be held accountable?
the people or the person in charge?
The person in
Both.
charge who's riling
Why
them
should
up.
they be held more accountable than the people
Because
that
they're in power.
who put them in the power?
Exactly. The people trust the people that they elected to do the best for them.
But without the people, he wouldn't be in power.
Yeah, that's what manipulation is. Though, if
It's
you,
not manipulation.
I mean,
if you say you're going to do something and you don't do something,
That's a U.S. president.
isn't that isn't that
it's
manipulation?
manipulation.
It's not manipulation.
Or if you're doing something and saying something to get the power that you want, because you're pushing your narrative, you're trying to achieve something out of it. If you're saying things knowing that you have the platform to
so
do
we
so,
shouldn't be able to manipulate.
I'm not. I mean, ideally, no, but we can't. Like, nothing is black and white.
Well, manipulate's not necessarily a
It's
bad
not
thing.
a bad thing inherently.
No, but there's
the-
nothing that's black and white where we say we should or shouldn't. Like, there's nothing that's black and white. I think just going back to the encouraging thing, like, people encourage all the time. So if I'm encouraging someone to like,
Jump off a bridge and they
no,
do it,
if I'm
should he be held
if I'm
accountable?
encouraging someone to like, if they can because they have one by their house, to go to like an eco-friendly store and get their like, soap and like hair supplies and like stuff. Because if I'm encouraging that because I know it's one thing that's very accessible, I think that should be done. I think that should be encouraged. And if I know that that's actually something that people can then spread on, and it will be their gateway drug or entry point to being more sustainable, then yeah, I do think you should encourage that.
Well, all advertising is manipulation.
I was going to say, so what gives us the right to manipulate?
Yeah, what gives us the right to
To manipulate. I
believe
love
it's in the
business, baby.
Constitution.
I'm all for manipulation.
Bro, you are like a manipulator, but I'm not gonna.
I'm all for it.
I'm gonna sip my tea.
Yeah, I'm all for manipulation.
Josh, where were you gonna take us earlier?
Well, I was going to say, speaking of fascists and manipulation, encouragement, there's a strong thread here. Do y'all know what's going on in Africa right now?
I did
Which
hear
part?
about this.
Vladimir Putin, star of...
with the French?
Yeah, it is tied to that loosely because Putin forgave, I believe, $25 billion in debt to a bunch of different African countries.
yeah.
Still under them, right?
No, he has no ties to them. He has no tie. different. Yeah, there is ties to France in there, but he also is sending 50,000 tons of grain to certain hard up African countries.
Dang.
And he's taking care of shipping, the cost of shipping there, to like gain favor, because I believe Africa in the future is supposed to become like an economic hub of in the whole global trade thing, like because they're supposed to be worth like because Africa has a majority
Everything.
of the natural
They have all that
resources, and it's
resources.
being exploited by foreign governments like France.
Yeah.
I believe,
Yeah.
where is it?
Lithium, cobalt.
Uranium.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so he's trying to win favor with various African countries, just like China's doing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because like I think they're
help,
trying
right?
to do
That is
they're-
influence.
Yeah, they're trying to maybe manipulate their opinion of them.
Not that-
For
it's
sure.
Not that they're trying. They definitely
They are.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
trying
they're
to
trying
start-
to.
they're trying to shake that hand and kiss that baby.
These
Is that
governments
wrong, though?
could just take that shit.
Isn't that what you do?
Well, I think what they're doing is like because China's trying to
That's
build.
business.
I believe it's called the Silk Road Initiative. They're trying to build infrastructure, very badly needed infrastructure in these countries.
That's like how Jamaica was, dude. Jamaica, all their roads were owned by like China. Like China came in, built all the roads in Jamaica, and then made them pay them money because they built them.
Yeah, I mean like.
Just like our toll roads out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know China has been in Africa though.
But they're trying to, because like I think it's like a lot of Western countries have a hand in not just the colonial thing, but in commercial ties, industrial ties.
Yeah.
More, I think like all these Western countries are actually like they're more exploiting. I can't say that they're not like that China or Russia won't do the same, but like they're kind of doing stuff like I scratch your back, you scratch mine later. You know, nothing wrong with that. I don't think so.
That's business.
We're not gonna get censored. Any of this,
Honestly,
are we?
no.
Okay.
No, I think that's all business. Like
That
that's
is
hard.
business.
That's hard to remove that thing because that's business and that's superpowers. And like the idea of if that's right or wrong is going to be written by the
victor.
Yeah, the victor. Yeah,
Well, and
the
also-
history will be like, oh, you know,
We don't know the people who lost, so who cares?
I've been thinking I've always thought my whole life that it's pronounced Niger, but it's like pronounced
Niger?
Niger.
Niger.
I don't know if that's also like French influence, but I believe is it in Niger that there has been a military backed coup of the government.
Yeah, that did happen.
And that government has ties to French colonialism. And I believe it's France now that is trying to threaten war with them to reinstate the government like of Niger. And there's
Wow.
what's it called? An alliance of African countries that are saying, if
Stepping
you
up.
use force and you declare war on Niger, we will respond with full force to defend them.
Basically, for layman's people, what's going on in Niger is what happened in our Revolutionary War. It was the first war over here when we were breaking away from the Europeans.
Revolutionary?
Same thing.
Wait, but who?
They're trying to break away from France because France controls them.
Yeah.
They've had control over them for like 400 years.
Yeah.
Money and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so
Do they still have Ivory Coast too? Because I know
that's
they
what- I
call it
think
Cote
so.
d'Ivoire.
I think so. They control. France still controls a good portion of
Of them.
some countries in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Because isn't there like also like the Congo and the Republic of Congo?
Yeah, those are all like plundered by the French, the
and
Dutch.
It's basically like
Yeah.
whatever they did had to be ran through France. Anything
Yeah.
they did.
I believe Mali, the official language or something was French. I could be wrong in that. And they just rescinded that and they're like, that's no longer our thing. So the French are pissed.
What did the French say they had some like? Did they respond back to like other countries coming together? Where they were like,
I
can't
think
'cause they don't
there's
have power
there's
over
a
them.
there's a
Yeah, that's
there's
what
a
I'm saying.
I believe there's a deadline to respond or something like that.
Got
If you
you.
don't do this by this will happen. And then the alliance of African countries were like, well, if fuck around and find out type of thing.
I mean, that's the point where you just instead of trying to throw hands, go over there and like break bread. Be like, all right, well, like what's I'll take it back, and like we're not gonna go to war. So what's the
But
best we
that's
can
what
do
I'm
with
saying.
this?
95% of the citizens of both places wouldn't want to go to war. with
Yeah.
either one of them.
Clearly,
But it's like
I think
you've kind of been oppressing us and you've been exploiting us. Whereas, like, say,
but it's not the people; it's the government.
yeah, no, the government,
Yeah.
but the government,
And that's why I say neither of the people.
Because the French people aren't exploiting.
They're not exploiting the African, and Africans
Yeah.
don't. It's the governments of both that have been in collusion, and now they're just like, we're done.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
then, like, yeah. So
But that's what, like, I mean, if you're the French government, you're not going to. It would
you're not
seem
gonna
like you're
go-
not going to
you're not
go
gonna
in
just let 'em
guns
go.
blazing. But it seems like you also would let him go.
Well, would you let your cash cow just go?
that's the whole problem. It's like you don't want to go to war, but you
If
like
you were a
all the
farmer and
money.
You had one cash cow. Would you just
You got
let it
one
walk
shot.
away? Would you just open the gate and say, "We've had a good run"?
I mean, if you have all the other groups around saying, "Yo, if you hop," because like that's as being like the future like hub. I mean, it's the current hub of all natural resources, and like clearly, like, you know, all those countries want to take back the power since it's like they're being basically graped for their, you know,
They are
resources.
We know it.
I back the self-defense of a sovereign country. Like,
yeah,
I'm down with them.
I think that.
I mean, I think it's going to end badly for anybody anyway. It can't be good, but like, I think there's no such thing as a nonviolent revolution.
I don't think you can have revolution without violence.
I mean, because people have to forcefully remove the
Oppressing,
whoever's in power.
government. Facts.
It's the way of life, baby.
You know, this, like, I think we
Sway
covered
life?
damn near everything.
Yeah, we actually did hit everything. I just wanted to say, I kind of question the alien thing because
In what way?
Part, yeah.
it just seems to me like every time they talk about we've been like fucking like, yeah, I know aliens are real, like, for so long, like, give us all the movies, doing all the things, then like this, like, you know, Joe America comes out here and it's like, yep, I've seen it all, I've done it, like, they were all there, and it's like almost too good to be, it's too good to be true. Like, really, you're just gonna silver platter all this? And like,
Well, they're saying that, like, because it's been so much, there's like evidence to the contrary, so it's like we might as well tell them.
yeah,
But it's also, you've heard that it's a cover for like all this other economic and socioeconomic activity that's going on. So they will want us to pay attention. They want us to think about that.
Yeah.
They want us to think about Lizzo. I mean, look what they're covering. They're not covering, like, the thing I was saying, like, all that stuff in Africa has a greater consequence to
Totally.
us, our way of life, than Lizzo
yeah,
or aliens. Like, aliens, I think they could have impact, but
it'd only
there's
be
nothing
If they've
that's going
been
to
here
affect us
forever
day-to-day.
and haven't turned us into mulch, what's the difference?
if you found out that all the best athletes were aliens,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
would you
rappers.
let
I'd sue
would you let
I'd
them
sue.
would you let them play
for sure, but I would just sue. to
did you
take
let
my
them
money.
play in the same league, or would they have to? So
Oh, is this
it's
what you're trying to do?
not fair.
What you're trying to do?
Fair.
So it's not fair.
Fair.
It's fair, and they clearly have above average, insane
all
amount
of
of
them.
talent.
Not all
All the aliens do. All the bests. Every single best.
Only the goat is an alien.
All the goats are the aliens.
So an alien is LeBron, but not Kevin Durant.
Oh wait, is this going?
No,
back to the
no, no.
goat thing?
I'm holding up on all stars. All stars. All aliens are all stars.
Because I'm like, if
No,
LeBron's
all
an alien
aliens
and
are
Kevin
all
Durant
stars.
is an alien,
No.
hell yeah, we could take them bitches.
No, all aliens are so Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's probably an alien. You've seen that foot. Yeah.
Was Shaq an alien?
Seen the hair.
Shaq's foot.
Shaq, were you an alien? You talk.
Shaq
We're talking about an alien.
If I found out that all goats or all stars
All-
were
yeah.
aliens,
Do they get to play in the league still? Or are you going to take all the best out and it's going to be the most boring?
It's
No,
gonna just
we
be
need
like
aliens.
before.
We
It's
need
like
aliens.
The aliens?
It's like before they allowed black people in the league. It's just gonna be like that again. Do you want to see?
layups?
Do you want to see? Do you want to see a league full of
Short shorts
of
and layups?
of Gordon Haywards,
a league of men.
of Alex? Who's that? What was the Alex that used to be on?
A league of their own, part two.
Part two.
Pass the ball. The hard dribbles, the heavy dribble.
Short swords, just granny shots. No, I'm down with aliens. I think
mean-
it could be real. It could not be real. Who cares?
But I'll say, like, Josh, good points. Aliens, I think, would be to Trey's earlier point too. Like,
Tying 2 points together.
yeah, because like,
He's a weaver.
Intricate.
I think aliens could be the thing that's like, oh, we have to all band together and be together. And I also think like the alien thing is like knowing that, like Trey was saying earlier, how whatever, like 5 companies, and they're specifically like financials that are linked to media. It's financial media. Like
that's what
it's easy to tell. Like I was just thinking like, oh damn, yeah, Messi here. And I was like, that was like, can easily all these things be tied? Where like that's like all like Lizzo. We'll hit him with the Lizzo. We're gonna hit him with the Messi. What else can we throw in?
We just hitting him
Like
with
hit him with everything. Oh, we'll go Twitter. Let's make Twitter X. Let's just do it.
That's what I'm saying. Keep everyone sexed up. Everyone's a porn star. Let's go.
Yep.
Everybody's a genius.
Everyone's a genius. Everyone's a genius. Everyone's a porn star.
Well, do you think
Everyone could have $1 million.
if this is
$1 million don't even get you nothing. It's crazy. I was reading. It was like this couple that was talking about like their 401k and their savings, and like their 401k was like 800 something, and their savings was like 1.5, and they wanted to retire at like, I think it was like,
how old are they?
60 is what they were, but like
How old were they at the time?
60s when they.
Oh, okay.
Well, like yeah, no. They're no, yeah, they were talking about retiring now. They hold the plan, and they were like, yeah.
So they had about 1.5 liquid.
Yeah, 1.5 liquid, and they were like saying like
How they couldn't make it.
they were like, no, we have to keep on our plan going for a little bit longer. I think actually they were 55, and they were talking about, and then now they're going to go for another 10 years and see where it is, and like from there, like that's crazy.
But we all live above our means for the most part.
Yes, I eat out way too much.
I eat out way too much, but not. No, I think I could eat out more, but I'm not talking.
I could eat out.
I'm not talking about eating at restaurants. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying.
Less,
I pick up what you were putting down.
I got that strong jaw muscle. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it starts like be down there, and like you start getting the cramp, and I'm like,
I don't got to work that long.
In your jaw?
That's a lie.
I'm
You
a
got
fishing.
slack jaw?
I'm efficient.
Are you efficient? Do they ever get? Do you ever
Want me to
have?
try
Like,
you right now?
do you ever have like a partner get upset like you're going too quick?
You say upset like Epstein?
X that out.
Don't make fun of my
lisp.
She's like, I don't know if this is what he wants to say, but Liz?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, it's all. Well, I try and read the body while I'm doing it, and like I always do build up. I'm a strong believer in foreplay.
body is a
instead of just
wonderland?
going.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going.
Trey, your body is a wonderland.
Statistically,
Body is a
foreplay
wonderland.
is the most desired portion from
Why do
whoever,
it's called foreplay and not 5-play?
because you got 4 fingers and the thumb. I don't know. It's FORE. What does FORE mean?
Before.
Yeah,
Damn.
like when you golf.
I don't
you're
know
like,
why I asked that.
before.
Wait, that's not what for is for golf. Imagine.
F-O-R.
But imagine though it was.
Yeah.
Before. Before what? What are we saying this for?
Before we play.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. That was good.
Yeah, I
Had
had
a good
fun.
time.
I'm sweaty.
Yeah, I know. It's warm. It's chicken shawarma.
So actually, any last thoughts? Either of you? I got a
R.I.P.
Do what you want to be. You
Paul
can be
Rubens.
Who you want to be.
Is that what's his name?
Hard.
Paul Rubens?
Yeah.
Peewee, rest in peace.
R.I.P. Yeah, Peewee. Did you watch Peewee as a kid?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What was
I'm
he
a
on
loner,
that?
Dottie,
Make
a
a high,
rebel.
make a hiney ho. I know he didn't say that, but that was the guy from his show, right? Was that his first show?
I don't know.
I think
The
maybe.
genie.
Oh, yeah. The
Make
genie
a
in the
high,
box.
make a hiney ho.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the genie. I don't remember
Yeah,
that, but
that was the
I
genie.
remember that genie. Yeah,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
My sister loved Peewee because she's like 10 years older than me.
I love them too.
Peewee was kind of like
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
he was kind of like the geeked out Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he was. You know,
Pee-wee could have made it in today's day and age.
No.
I mean, because he's not
Actually,
he's
though,
not
but-
Paw Patrol. He's not Coco.
But no, maybe because he would be
Maybe,
TikTok.
'cause
He be him, but he'd be the TikTok level.
I loved him in Blow.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
He's actually like a person.
Yeah, just a regular
He's
person.
like, oh, I mess with him. Like, yeah, he's not doing like the earnest.
Oh, Derek for real. Yeah,
Derek for real.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. Shout out Derek.
Yeah, I know. That's like one of my favorite characters of his.
That must be like when people play such a not like a weird
get
op.
typecasted.
Yeah, and then like, but you're out in public and people just like be
Peewee.
coming up to you like, yeah. Like I'm out here with my family, homie. Like,
Bro, it was like
chill.
probably like a Gilbert Godfrey was probably like that.
Yeah, just doing the voice.
Doing
I can't
the
even.
vo-
I can't even do that
it either.
voice.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's a very unique ass. Never like he could never not talk that way. Hey guys, I can't even. The Godfrey. Yeah.
All right, Josh, close us out.
All right, just a couple last shout outs. Shout out the Filipino national team.
Oh yeah.
Fucking first goal, first appearance. I
First
never thought
appearance
I'd
of the
ever
one-
see
yeah.
the Philippines in any sport because we're too short. But I definitely don't think the men's national team will ever make the World Cup. But like, shout out women's making history out there. Shout out new Lil Dragon album, new fucking Glaive album. That shit is dope.
Who's Glaive?
Glaive's this young cat. Came out. I think he just started making music during pandemic. Really cool. He was very like digipop, hyperpop in the beginning, but his
Wait,
next
is it the
album's
one that
really,
you sent me the other day? Oh, it's good. Yeah.
really stripped down.
Yeah.
Actually, very like what you said, reminiscent of like very raw,
It
very dramatic.
Yeah. I felt like it would have been something on like Drive Through Records, but like, yeah, it's
Most
pretty good.
definitely. You guys got any last minute words? I'm sweaty. Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, I'm actually really sweaty. Read the fine print when you sign up for a Kith sweepstakes.
Bro, I could have told you that though.
Yeah,
Read the fine print when you sign any contract.
Nah, nobody got time for terms
it's
and
a lot of
conditions.
terms and conditions.
Again, we like to pick and choose. And then
Bro, you
go
pick and choose. Don't say the we. I know this. You say we and they, but not much I.
because I'm a part of both of those.
No, you're not. Because as soon as you are, you aren't.
He's just
Don't loop me in with don't loop me in with those.
He just
loop me
wants to
in.
deny all plausibility of his
Yeah, no.
involvement in anything, but he's involved.
I'm
Complicit.
involved,
He's
just
complicit.
you know,
Damn, are you
by,
complicit in the murder?
not complicit.
All right.
It was
Explicit,
I was just
He's explicit.
duplicit.
duplicit. I was just
Duplicity.
around.
You-
Yeah.
I was just around. I was just hanging
Your Honor,
out.
I was just there. I wasn't
hanging
doing
out
anything. I was
on
there.
I was just around.
I did not see or hear anything that I would not have seen.
Trey
if I
with
was-
Mitch McConnell freeze. The Zaza was too hard.
Senator, you want to say anything? Just a little.
Just putting them on the freaking like dolly and wheeling them out.
They put him on the dolly and wheeled him out.
Yeah, just went, strap them up,
He leaned back.
wheel them out.
All right,
Put
load
him
him
in
up,
the
boys.
Hannibal thing with the.
With the mouth,
Bro, he doesn't need anything.
just to pull his jaw back up.
Just to close his mouth.
And then just like close his eyes.
Yo, the Dark Lord sleeps.
Boondock said they put
He's
some
like-
pennies over his eyes.
His handlers are like, all right, zippity doo dog. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.
I wonder if that's why they call them handlers, because they got to push them everywhere.
All right, I'm sweating. No,
good?
if I'm sweating, I know you guys must be.
All right, thank you
that a
everybody for
racist
joining
statement?
us. Wait, what?
How could it be? My people are from the desert.
What do you mean, my people?
Go.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
My people.
All right, both of you shut up.
Cut us off.
All right, thank you everybody for listening. If you made it this far, you're a.
Of course they made it this far.
I love you.
He said, "Shut up,
I
Sean."
appreciate you. You can do those little ad libs. I appreciate that. Just
He
don't-
said,
just
"Keep it
don't
going,
overdo
Sean."
it. No more designer for you. We appreciate all your likes, comments, listens. Keep it going. You can find us on all platforms at Almost Never Pod.
But not all platforms, I guess. Some people.
No,
wanna
all of them,
hear
just-
Now you can
more.
find it, but people want to hear more on.
you can only listen to 2 episodes on Spotify and Apple, but we're working on that, aren't we?
Could be.
I'm just kidding. Trey's
I got it, guys.
Trey's
Sorry.
been
Damn.
amazing. He handles all our editing with the video,
I'm not
audio.
no social media person.
That's obvious.
Yeah, no one's questioning that.
But I think I'm very proud of his growth and his
Oh, I
skills. That
appreciate that.
everything.
And I'm sorry for you guys, because I could have put the audio up like months ago. I've just been lagging because trying to build numbers on YouTube.
But
so there we go.
yes,
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe. Send us a comment. You know,
Yeah,
maybe refer
comment
us to a
that shit
friend,
up.
you know?
Yeah,
Give
that
us some
helps the
comments.
engagement,
Tell your
dude.
mother about us
Yo,
while you
speed it
call
up.
her. Don't forget. Don't forget.
Actually,
Stay
said my mom
hydrated.
our podcast. I was afraid.
You did?
I
She'd
just,
been bugging me, so I did.
I don't know if I.
just
She was
send her-
bugging me. I just sent her the actual page. I said, watch what you want.
See, I don't think I
your own
could.
risk.
'Cause I think you might
should give her terms and conditions of that shit.
My mom would see you next, and she'd be actually proper upset with you.
She's like, I can't believe you said that.
She'd be like, "We need to talk about climate change."
She
Trey.
would talk to you about your.
do we?
She would call you by your government name.
Yeah,
right
she
there.
would. I almost did you right now.
Yeah, you don't want to out him like that.
Hey, you can call me Ruby Tuesday.
You
not
are
gonna
Ruby
do
Tuesday
that.
forever. All
Yeah,
right,
you shiny. All right, everybody. See you next week. Goodbye.
Later, guys. Appreciate you.
bye.